Let's see now. He said that I was muted. Hold on a second. And this is one of the reasons why. Yeah. Is it better? The sound? You fixed it. Okay. Because I was about to put the other headset in there, man. Because I'm sitting over here going through the whole thing, letting you guys. I'm not gonna go over the whole spiel again because I wasted a lot of your time being muted. I was explaining to you guys about. I'm thinking that it was all working. I appreciate you. Special shout out to Zach. I was briefly I was explaining to you guys how to improve yourselves financially by having the capabilities of making better personal decisions because those personal decisions compromises your ability to make, save, and invest money, right? Because the money that you spend with your personal decisions impacts your job and the job that you have. If you're not able to get that promotion, if you're not able to get that raise, if you're not able to make those extra hours, you end up getting frustrated with your job, and then you end up either quitting your job and changing your job, or you end up in a position where you're not working on that job anymore. And if you're working for yourself, the other half of that is that you raise the prices on your clientele, and then you go from having stable income to unstable income. So I teach you guys Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday about you know how to adjust yourselves with the politics impacting your money, making, saving, investing money, different places to go and live and spend the money, so that you can build a better business life, and then help you out Thursday, Friday, Saturday to fix that personal life. That was the long and the short of what I was doing while I was muted because I could have sworn that it was working, man. Holy crap. Luckily, I did not get into the topic of the day yet, so we're about to get into the topic of the day. If you did come, if you did come, if it happens, good luck out there. I'm not much of a financial content, but I wanted to let you know about the tech issue. Hey, I appreciate it. Look, today we're actually talking about building your wardrobe, not so much making money, because we talk about everything, including money. We don't just talk about money. And to what was it? Stephen had asked us about, what it would look like to build a better wardrobe to look more professional and behave and function a little bit more professionally. So we started with giving you a way to kind of tiptoe into it last week. And now this week we're enhancing it just a little bit more. And it's going to be like, I think, 2 more weeks of us going into the pro status of how to budget the name brands titles on discounts versus ironing it off with the difference between luxury expenses versus non-luxury expenses to accent those the attire that you have. So today we're actually not going to be talking about money, but the thing is that every decision that you make is impacted by money, or it does impact the money. So we do talk about how to improve yourself. And since we talk about how to improve yourself, we talk about how to improve your decision making skills. And something to the magnitude of how you dress yourself actually impacts your money because you're going to either spend a bunch of extra money on name brand clothes or you're going to spend less money on the clothes that will make you look the way you want to look while getting the respect that you're aiming for. Then you'll also find yourself in a position where you have a little bit more money to spend on something else. Just like yesterday when we were talking about the cost of dating apps and the cost of dating and the difference between leveraging your position in the dating field to make money versus paying attention to the fact that people do leverage themselves in the dating field to make money, that you can curate the difference between connecting with somebody that is only here for the money versus connecting with somebody that is actually here for genuine connection. So if the podcast is not 100% about uh, money, but the core foundation is that your every decision is going to be impacted or impacting. So either it is impacted by the money or it will impact the money. And that's one of the things that we cover. So I greatly appreciate Zach helping to clarify our tech issue before we dove into the main portion of today's show. Uh, and best part about it is for me is that that first 20 minutes of the show gets edited out. And we're like 17 minutes in, so we're good. We're in the safe zone, and we're live. We're live no matter what, and no matter how we pull it off, we always make sure to give you guys a fantastic show. But typically, an hour to 2 hours in. Um, sometimes 3 to 5 hours in if we've got a really hefty topic. And we try to cover as much stuff as possible to help you guys be able to find another way. And that's one of the things that I wanted Zach to know on his way out is that we give you guys information to help you find another way. Because if you're thinking that you have to do it this way because this is the only way you know how, but then you come to a podcast like this one and I give you more information to help you find another way, then you're thinking, oh snap, you know, I didn't know that that existed, and there is another way. So if you're watching us from Twitter or Twitch, you guys can comment as well, the same as you seen Zach did today. And your comments will be seen on our comment section, and I'll put those up onto the screen as long as they're appropriate comments. Um, and then if you are, we're going to be trying to see if we can get TikTok up here, but we haven't quite gotten there yet. I'm still working on the another tech issue with them. So I guess tomorrow I'm gonna have to double check and make sure that the sound bar is fluctuating before I start the show. I was over here rocking out to the music, drinking my coffee, and thinking, "All right, we're live," because I haven't had a mic problem in a while. But look, if you have you ever stood in front of the closet, and your closet is packed with clothes, but you still feel like you have absolutely nothing to wear. It's almost like when you go to the fridge and the fridge is packed with food, but you can't find anything that you want to eat, right? Same dynamic. You keep buying new things. A lot of times trying to keep up, but your outfits just feel cheap, even if they're not, right? Just thrown together. It's a frustrating cycle that kills your confidence, especially as younger men that are out there trying to um, make contact and engage other individuals, especially if it's a young man trying to find him a date. Uh, Not having confidence in what you're wearing, and God forbid being criticized in front of a female or by a female by what you're wearing, because not everything is from the same brand label or something to that effect. Uh, this could negatively impact your confidence in your approach to engage other people, right? So, what if I told you the secret to looking like a millionaire isn't about spending more money on what you're wearing, but about owning fewer clothes than what a lot of people might think? Sounds crazy, right? I know. But the best dressed people in the world operate on a system. They have what we discussed last week as a uniform. It's a formula. And that formula is surprisingly simple. So, in tonight's show, I'm not just giving you a few tips like I did last week. I am giving you the exact day to day plan to completely transform your wardrobe in just 30 days, right? We're going to use only 20 strategic pieces out of an entire full on closet to make you look and feel like $1 million, proving once and for all that all timeless styles is specifically a formula, not actually a budget. Now, if you follow this plan, you will build a wardrobe that works for you, not against you, and it will be in line with your budget instead of hurting your pockets. And you will never feel like you have nothing to wear again because everything works together. There goes Michael. I wear dead people's clothes. Michael, you were supposed to be the first person to tell me that the mic wasn't on. See, if I had a team of people here, somebody would have did sound check. I can't hear you, Xander. I can't hear you. All right, let's get started. Before we dive into the day-to-day plan and the 20 pieces you need, you have to understand the philosophy behind this. Now, without this foundation, the plan just won't stick. The millionaire look isn't about flashing logos or chasing trends. In fact, It's the exact opposite. It's about a quiet confidence that comes from three core pillars. Michael says, looking at the listing of mansion county tax auctions coming up. Oh, so that's why you wasn't paying attention to the South. I mean, when we do it cover the real estate topic, then we can discuss that in more severity because it would be nice to acquire a mansion. However, the taxes on them places are not as cheap as you might think. There are some people that do get away with like $40,000 or $50,000 worth of taxes on what is identified as a mansion. But I mean, not everybody has the the taxes on those mansions. Yeah, but I know you're talking about the listings, but I was sitting over here thinking that because that's a fantastic topic to cover. When are those things supposed to be? Oh, Mason County. Look, shit. He he got Mason County. I'm thinking mansions in the county having taxes. I'm like, that's what I want to see, a big ass house for cheap. See. No, even though I preach to you guys about doing things appropriately structured. It is human instinct, and I just proved it in this particular moment. I seen Mason County and thought expensive mansions. We all have this criteria in our brain to buy something that big and lavish, even if we don't need it, right? And you have to be able to recognize that and then control it in the moment. And that's what to be one of the things that we talk about. So today, the first pillar we're going to talk about is your fit. And fit is not an abbreviation for outfit. It is how the clothes fit you because your fit is clean. It's the key part of this. Now, this is going to be the single most important rule out of the entire thing. And this is a non-negotiable. An impeccably tailored garment can make an affordable piece look high end, while the most expensive designer suit will look cheap if it doesn't fit you right. If it's hanging off of you, if it's too long, the sleeves are too long, if the chest looks too fluid, it the pants legs are too long and they're covering your shoe. It looks like you're wearing your dad's clothes. You know what I mean? Remember when we were kids and we were like 3 and 4 years old and we were putting on our parents' clothes and it was hanging off of us and it didn't fit. If that is how you're looking as an adult, that same childish observation is the same observation you have as an adult. That ain't yours, right? So, what does a good fit actually mean? That's what we have to first identify. For a jacket or a blazer, the shoulder seam should sit exactly where your natural shoulders end. Now, this is different from those 1980s looks when the ladies had the shoulder pads that were like way out there and it was more emphasizing broad masculine shoulders on women who didn't have them. The seam has to be where the shoulder naturally stops at. And I'm glad I'm wearing a blazer today. That actually makes it makes sense, which actually gives you the structure of where your shoulders are supposed to sit, right? It's not supposed to be before the shoulder. It's not supposed to be after the shoulder, right? Which makes you look weird. It's supposed to be where your shoulders naturally stop. When you button the jacket up, the jacket should gently hug your torso without pulling an X shape across the buttons, which is a sign of stress. Which also, because if you look at the buttons on the jackets, the buttons are kind of like strategically tied on there with a lot of string. And if you close the jacket and the jacket has stress on it, and this is like every button in the front of the jacket that is supposed to be closed up. If you close that jacket up and the jacket has stress on it, then that jacket is too tight on you, right? So if it fits without putting stress on the buttons, it does two things. It looks better on you, but it also does not cause you to be in a situation where you break the buttons, right? And look, here's another thing about that. Good point. It would make you look shorter. Your suit, your suit doesn't fit. It makes you look shorter. Well, no, my suit fits full on. My suit fits full on. But it would if it would not fit you if it was too tight, and it would look like the jacket is it doesn't belong to you. It's either going to feel too baggy on you or it's going to be too short on you, and that's not something that you want to have. Um, you haven't seen me in a suit and a blazer actually in a while because we were dealing with different temperature changes, so I stopped wearing the blazers because we have the heat running for because it's cold out, and then it gets hot in here, and the fan ain't helping. But here's the thing, though, the irony, because you say that it makes me look short. And here's the true to life knowledge, Michael. I am short, 5'6". You know, I'm about 2 inches taller than Rey Mysterio. I'm short, right? Like I think I'm a couple of inches taller than Matt Hardy, right? So uh, if you don't know who those guys are, Kevin Hart, I'm about 2 inches taller than Kevin Hart, and I'm short. Okay, me and Cat Williams are about the same height. I'm short. Okay, so by putting on this particular blazer, ironically, I actually look my actual height. I don't look taller than what I am. Now, camera angles do actually help with this. And one of the ways that you can be perceived as taller is if you have the camera, instead of my camera sitting on my laptop angling down at me where you're looking down at me, if I were sitting in a situation where the camera was pointed up towards me, where you would feel like you were looking up towards me, then you would actually perceive me as taller. But because the camera is looking down at me, from your natural ability to look at me, and I'm talking directly to you in the camera, if you were looking down at me in real life, you would feel like I'm shorter, and that's why you get the visual observation that I'm shorter in this video. But this is actually a good side topic when it comes down to your ability to interact with other people, because while a chair is a chair is a chair, I was just about to get to that, Michael. Booster seat. You don't necessarily need a booster seat. If, for example, you have um, a house or an apartment where you have a social gatherings in the common area, your chair should be strategically designed to be taller than everybody else's chair. Some ways that you can do that is buying a chair that seemingly is in fact taller, even after you sit into it with the cushions of the chair. However, the other way that a lot of people do it is they take the legs off of other chairs in the house. So you might have your chair with legs on it and everybody else's chair with no legs on it. And when they sit lower into the chair and then they end up looking up. It happens in every business meeting. It's a different type of chair that the customers have than what the bank manager or whatever has. Their chair is deliberately taller. It's in the schools. The chairs that the kids have and the chairs that the kids have, that the parents have for the kids, those chairs are lower than the chair of the principal. This visual observation that you're looking up at authority. Same thing in a courthouse. The judge has a regular chair that actually would work as a very good gamer chair. And their desk is built taller deliberately so that they can walk onto what is ultimately a stage behind that desk and then sit in a chair behind that desk so that they're looking over the desk down at you. And because they're looking down at you, regardless of what chair is on the floor in the courtroom, they are looking up at the judge, which gives you a subconscious feeling of looking up at authority. If you're trying to put yourself in a business meeting, you put yourself at the head of the table where everyone is looking at you. You are leading the conversation. If you're putting yourself in a business meeting and you're sitting in a specific chair, your chair is higher than everyone else's. Even if you're sitting on the side of the table, your chair is higher than everyone else's. That puts more attention on you, right? So booster seat, that actually does help. And a booster seat is not necessarily you bringing like the little booster seat that you see at Denny's that you sit in and make yourself look taller. It is actually boosting your chair up, making your chair taller, or um, extra cushions on your chair that match the material of the chair, or someone else's chair being shorter to offset your chair, and that's how you're able to cover that. Because actually, at the end of the day, if somebody was sitting next to me, another mentality of this is instinctually the leader of the tribe. Nobody's head is higher than the leader of the tribe. So, since nobody's head is higher than the leader of the tribe, anyone who is standing taller than the leader of the tribe got to get knocked down. And the best way to do that, being a shorter person, is to just trim everybody else's seat. Now, if you can find a furniture set that has one really tall chair and then the rest are really short chairs, and everybody else is able to look down on you, now you have this is his seat and then everybody else's seat. They can sit whatever they want, right? And you come to notice when you walk into a room and one chair looks different than everybody else's chair, the person who sits in a chair that's different, that's the person that you want to talk to because that's the person in charge or the person with the most authority in the room. And typically, if the wrong person sits in that chair, they're corrected by everybody else in the room. No, the CEO sits there, right? So this side topic actually helps you when you're walking into a business discussion. Because if you walk into a room and you see a specific individual strategically designed to be at the head of the table, that's the person that's supposed to have the most authority in the room. That's the person that you want to segue with and communicate with at the end of the discussion, or that's the person that you want to generate the most questions towards, or in some situations provide the most answers for. But back to our topic about attire. Okay, the sleeves shouldn't bellow, and they should end just high enough to show about a quarter to a half inch of your shirt cuff, quarter to a half inch of your shirt cuff. And whether I keep my cuff closed or open, I keep fidgeting with these throughout the show. Some that start with them open, then I close them, then I open them up again. And actually, you can end up with, depending on what kind of shirts that you buy, you can actually end up with cufflinks, and that's going to be another thing that makes this scenario good for you. Is that if your jacket sleeve is not covering your shirt sleeve, when you do accent it with cufflinks, you will find that the cufflinks can easily be seen without you having to deliberately show off your cufflinks. So there's a method to the madness. But the subtlety, it also helps with if this is a patterned shirt and the patterned shirt tends to blend with the blazer kind of thing. It also helps with if there was other accents to the attire that would be more emphasized by the shirt sleeve. And if you're wearing a shirt that fits, we're going to be getting to that a little bit later. The shirt is supposed to be able to make it to the wrist, right? Not cover the hand, right? Because since the jacket is supposed to stop by a certain distance, so is the shirt. Now, for your trousers and your chinos, the fit around your chest and the thighs is going to be crucial. Now, typically these days we're wearing clothes around our hips, not so much around our waist. Our waist is up there above our love handles, around our navel, but where our belly button is, that's where the waist is. And if we were wearing clothes at that height, everybody's pants would be up there like Steve Urkel, and we don't wear them that high anymore in modern times. However, we do have to pay attention when we for those guys that have somewhat of a gut, somewhat of a stomach, that when you're wearing pants, it is more effective for you to, instead of having your stomach hang over your pants, you get pants that is capable of tucking your stomach into your pants and then putting a belt on it so that your pants fit without showing too much bagginess around the crotch area or being seen to be too tight around the crotch area because again, you're not supposed to have a print anywhere, and that also prevents you from having tears and unexpected seam rips when your clothes are too tight. You also don't want to have your thighs brushing up against one another in an uncomfortable fashion, getting skin rashes and stuff to that effect. They should skim your body, not cling to it or hang off of it too much, which is one of the things that we're noticing with the ladies that are wearing clothes that clings to the body to further emphasize sexuality. Instead of the clothes clinging to your body, it should be able to just fit in line with your body, allowing you to be able to sit down comfortably without the fabric pulling tight in any one area, causing you to have to adjust yourself during the meeting. And then the length. The length is going to be what separates the men from the boys. You want a slight break where the pant leg has one single gentle fold as it rests on your shoes. One fold. So not necessarily like three or four or five different rolled all the way up. Any more than that creates a messy pooling effect that makes you look shorter and sloppier than you really are. Okay. It feels comfortable if I feel like a sausage. Well, some people actually like the tight fit. And I think we're gonna be covering the slim fit attire. And if we don't cover the slim fit attire this week, we will be covering the slim fit attire next week. Um, um, it's actually emotional security to have that clingy feeling, to kind of have that, tight everything cling to you kind of thing, right? However, almost like the gym guys, the guys who go to work out and then they put on a shirt and everything's kind of like clinging to them. Well, hey, I'm not a buff dude, but I can tell you that when I have put on a shirt that has clinged to my body, one, it's hard to get on. Two, it's hard to get back off. And three, if at any point in time you start to perspire, oh, it goes straight through the clothes really quick. Whereas if it wasn't clinging, you would have the ability to naturally sweat and it not saturate the exterior of your clothes. Two, you have the ability to take it off and put it on easily. But three, also, it breathes more. And by it breathing more, you're not retaining so much heat. And then because you're not retaining so much heat, you're not sweating as much. So one of the issues that a lot of guys have with crotch sweat is that the package is contracted into an area that doesn't have any breathing room. So all of the sweat from the body goes from the head all the way down into the trousers, and then it just saturates into the briefs. Guys that start wearing boxers, it will still saturate the boxers, but it'll run down the legs into the socks. If the clothes are not clinging to the body, the capability for those areas to breathe, which allows you in the summertime to be able to wear a suit and not burst out into a sweat or have a heat stroke. But it also allows you in the wintertime when you're wearing certain quantities of layers to remain warm and still look professional. Having clothes that don't cling to you also gives you the ability to have a little bit more maneuverability. It also works with going up and down stairs and being able to stand and sit. If you start putting stuff in your pockets, like your wallet and your cell phone, not having those bulges pull on the material where you rip your pocket because you put your wallet in your back pocket, or you rip your pants because your wallet stretched your pants and now you can't sit down, stuff to that effect. You know, uncomfortable to feel clinging clothes give me loose clothing. Yeah, I grew up in a generation with baggy clothes, so I started wearing clothes that were less baggy, but I don't feel comfortable with that slim fit, like everything pressed up against the skin kind of thing. I actually feel a bit suffocated about that. But some people get a sense of security from having everything cling to the body, a little bit of unaddressed trauma. So that also tells a lot about a person, which is why having a normal uh, kind of mesh with the body kind of thing, but not clinging to the body kind of thing, even for women. Like women can wear pantsuits where it is not clinging to the cheeks and clinging to the thighs, where it actually just fits normally. And then they just wear the appropriate belt and they can wear a pantsuit and still look professional without drawing sexual attention to themselves. A lot of women would prefer to get the skin tight pants and this, that, and the third to draw that sexual attention to them while they're looking professional, but that distracts their partners, that distracts their clients, that distracts their bosses from respecting them as a equal, and actually diverts visual attention to all of the men in the room that she wanted to do business with or do business for, to now thinking about, oh, I could smash that. And that's not the objective that women should have when they're trying to look professional, because your professionalism is supposed to be based on your skills, not based on how you look. So your goal is not to have people drool over you because they're not thinking about your skills. You're just in the room because you look good. That's not okay. You want to be in the room because you're just that damn good. You want to be in the room because you're the best in the building, right? And the only way you can do that is if you're dressing modestly, which we probably should cover a show about what modest women look like since it's been 50 years since that's happened. But now for shirts, again, look at that shoulder seam, right? The body of the shirt should be trim, right? With no more than 3 or 4 inches of excess fabric when you pull it away from your waist. And that's like when you're pulling your shirt, 3 or 4 inches. So there's some slack. It's not tight. It's 3 or 4 inches away from your body. You get a little bit of slack in your shirt. That's it. Anything more than that is too much. Now, I understand there's some individuals that wear back braces and stuff to this effect, and it is important when you have an injury or a disability that you want to cover up and you want to wear knee braces under your clothes, you want to wear like forearm braces under your clothes if you have to wear a back brace under your clothes, or if you're in military services or any type of secret service and you have to wear body armor under your clothes. It is important to make sure that you size your clothes, and this is where tailor-made outfits come from, while wearing whatever it is that you're going to wear under the clothes, and get the measurements of what that is while it's on you. So if you've got a knee brace and that adds 3 inches to your leg, the width of your leg, then you need to add 3 inches to your pants. It's almost like the kids who had one shoe bigger than the other shoe because their feet were off center, right? You have to have the size of the difference between the shoe, and you want to match it so that the shoes look the same, but the different feet are different height, and it's a custom outfit. The same thing if you have one knee brace on one leg and one not knee brace on the other leg, you might have to alter one leg where you're likely to have to get a bigger size and then shrink one leg that's not going to have the knee brace on it so that the one leg that has the knee brace on it looks normal, and the one that doesn't have the knee brace on it also looks normal without looking extra baggy. So if you're putting like a back brace on or a body armor on or something like that that you have to wear under your button down shirt, you want to again make sure that you have your t-shirt on and then have whatever that is on, and then have the shirt on top of that, and then have the shirt three inches or so away from that item. That way, it is not, the item under your shirt doesn't stretch your shirt. You don't have the imprint of that item under your shirt. So if you're trying to be one of those guys that's like Second Amendment wearing body armor and everything like that, and you have the body armor on under your clothes, you do not want the body armor under your clothes to be obvious because it's stretching out the outfit that you're wearing. Now, for those individuals who don't wear this all the time, you would have to have different outfits. One outfit that you wear, or one collection of outfits that you wear when you're wearing all of this stuff on under your clothes, and then another set of collection of outfits that you wear when you're not wearing this stuff under your clothes. This actually is the same as what women have. Women have slim days, skinny days, and fat days. So when she's dealing with feeling bloated and everything to that effect, she's got a different outfit for those days than what she does when she's not feeling bloated. All of that stuff is why women do that, is because those days when you do get bigger, you want to have clothes that fit you comfortably. And then on days when you're not that big, you don't want to have the clothes hanging off of you, right? He said, the back of your pants should come to half an inch to the floor, which kind of covers the shoe, but doesn't cover the entire shoe to where your pants are dragging on the floor, right? He said belts should match the color of your pants. It doesn't always have to cover match the color of your pants unless you're wearing black pants, because usually you have black, tan, brown belts that are normal belts, gray belts that are normal color belts. Then you have the flashy belts like the whites, pinks, purples, all of this other flamboyant color belts. But if it doesn't match the color of your pants, the other way that you would have a belt is that it matches your shoes. So if you have like gray pants and a black belt and black shoes, that'll work too. You don't have to have gray on gray, and you don't have to have black on black, but you can have black pants, and you can have a if you're wearing like a dark brown leather belt that's going to match your dark brown or tan looking Oxfords, then the belt will match the shoes, even though the belt doesn't match the pants. So pay attention now. Michael from old school now. Michael about to, this is gonna be where Michael gonna be like the PhD of the comment section right now, because he about to everything he tell y'all right now. I'm about to co-sign on it and then emphasize it just a little bit to give y'all just a little bit more swagger to it, right? This is why he my moderator, because this man got a lot of wisdom. FX Trader said, I would like to have a closet so big that I can live in it. You know what? I've actually had a walk-in closet. I actually had two walk-in closets. Um, and I still had more clothes than I had space in those walk-in closets. And I would have to tell you that I would still prefer to upgrade my wardrobe. With all the suits that I have, I would still prefer to upgrade my wardrobe. And that's going to be another thing that we're going to be talking about today, which is how do you um, strategically budget upgrading your wardrobe, throwing away the things that you don't need anymore, the things you don't like anymore, the stuff that's torn, tethered, and destroyed, stained up, whatever, and not run out of clothes while adding new things to your attire. And for the ladies that are here that are thinking about improving their man's wardrobe, you can phase out some of the clothes that he doesn't need to wear anymore, the stuff that's ripped and full of holes and stuff, and phase in more new things that is in line with his style. And that's actually one of the things that brought women value back in the day, is that women used to dress their men not like a servant, but he represents her the same way she represents him. So instead of him looking like trash because he doesn't have good taste in clothes, she would dress him, but she wouldn't dress him like a common thug. She would dress him to fit the expectations of whatever it is that he was going into. And so if he was going to work and he needed a business suit, she knew what kind of business suits he needed. She would make sure that he looked sharp. She would make sure that if the clothes weren't right for him, that she would get rid of those. But for those women nowadays that got guys that are still wearing clothes from back when they were kids, last outfit that mom bought him, you might not be able to really throw that outfit out, but you can make it less necessary because he's got plenty of other clothes that he can wear. So there's things that he can wear in the casualness of hanging around the house or hanging out with his homies, but he still has a large enough wardrobe to be able to go traveling professionally and not take anything that is not qualifiable of looking successful. And then he has the ability to have his work attire, his weekend business attire, his evening formal wear and still be able to look sharp 100% of the time. These are the things that we look for, but we can't find when we're looking for women of value, right? Now, Michael says belt buckle should be centered with your zipper. And this is and with this belt buckle, because I think we're going to talk about belt buckles today. Your belt buckle should not be as big as a WWE title. It should not be a full on huge belt. It should be discreet. It should be discreet. Your belt buckle should be kind of like, just a small area. It should be a small discreet belt buckle. And the center of your belt buckle should be in line with your zipper, not off to the side. Not and the extra, because I know we get belts, and when we do get the belt, there's all this extra part that's not in the belt itself, that's not in the loops, and we don't know what to do with that. That's not hanging out. That is actually tucked in to the loops of the pants, which also is another thing that you want to pay attention to. The thickness of the belt loop of your pants needs to be capable of having a double layer of whatever belt you're wearing. So if your belt is too thick, you're not going to fit it into your pants. These things you have to pay attention to when you're sizing up your clothes, which is why we said fit matters. Damn, this show is going to be longer than I thought. No keys or change in your pockets. Now, I didn't even think about this. I We have had so many years of putting everything in our pockets, but technically, your keys should be either hanging off of one of your belt loops. If you have sturdy belt loops, they should be um, outside of your pockets. There is like a little change pocket in your blazer. There's like a little change pocket in your blazer that you can have. You can also kind of throw keys in here, but you're not really supposed to have 1,001 keys anyway. It's just supposed to be the one key for the one vehicle that you're driving, and then the keys to get into the house. That's like the only keys that you should have on you. All the rest of the keys that you have in your collection, if it doesn't go to something that you're trying to unlock this year, then you should get rid of the key. So if it's a key to a storage unit or a key to a safety deposit box, post office box, a safe somewhere, those keys you want to keep. You store those keys somewhere safe. You don't take them with you everywhere you go. Maybe you take your mailbox key with you because you're going to the mailbox, the post office box to check the mail. But beyond that, any key that you're not using on a daily basis should not be on your keychain, which means that really your house key, which typically is the front door key, because the back door key, unless you're entering and exiting the back door key, which in some houses is the same key. You got the one key to get into the house, at least one key to get into the house, at least one key to start the vehicle, and then if you're going to have one more key to get into the post office box that requires a key, that's like three keys. So if you got 15 or 20 keys, 30, 50 keys, 75 keys, you got too many keys. And I'm not going to lie to you. I got more keys than a jailer. But I got a lot of things to unlock, but I got more keys to a jail than a jailer. And um it is stressful on your ignition when you have all of those keys hanging off of your steering column, which causes you to have to replace your ignition at one point in time. But it's also big and bulky, and it bulges out in your pocket. Another thing, you're going to want to put your wallet in your front pockets, not your back pocket, because when you sit on your wallet, it actually applies pressure to your sciatic nerve, but it also gives a different imprint in the back, which, not really caring how your butt cheeks look, but it does help people who want to pit pocket know where your wallet is because they can see it because one pocket sticks out more than the other, right? So you're not really supposed to be doing all of that stuff. And you said zip suits. Um, I'm not familiar with the zip suits. I'm gonna have to look into those. So you're talking about the ones that are um, zippers, pinstripe, the ones with the zippers on the side, the ones with the zipper on the leg towards the bottom. Like you kind of gotta help me out with the zip suit because I can't remember what that one looked like. uh, Now, When you button up your shirts, because we're still on the shirt area, because we kind of just went all over the place just now. When you button the shirt all the way up, you should be able to slide two fingers between the collar and your neck, right? So that means that it's able to fit correctly. However, some people kind of got it where like there's like way too much neck up there. And then some, it is completely pressed up against the neck to where you can't breathe. And that leaves you feeling uncomfortable. And it also causes a little bit of anxiety. And that also leaves a lot of people with leaving that extra button open at the top of the neck. Any more loose than two fingers or any less loose than two fingers, too tight, too loose. You gotta prepare for that. We're gonna get to the tailor later, but burn this information into your brain. I'd rather spend $50 on pants and $30 on a tailor than $200 on pants that you wear straight off the rack. Fit is going to be everything. Okay. That you're a key master. It's psychological, makes you feel important. Ah, I guess that does make a little bit of sense. I actually hadn't considered that. So we learned something new today. So individuals with a large quantity of keys makes them somewhat of a psychological key master. It makes them feel more important because you're in control of more locks. And even if they don't have the locks, because they have all of the keys to all of the locks, it makes them feel more important. And it actually makes them look more important, like a locksmith. Because the guy who unlocks everything is the most important guy in the building next to the guy who tells them to go unlock everything, right? Because nobody can get in or out if the doors are locked. Real tie or tie clip? Ah, it is, in fact, a real tie. It is not. I do not like tie clips. I think that tie clips should stop at 4, 5, 6 years old. I think once you're old enough to know how to curse at your parents, you should know how to tie a tie. I know that that doesn't make a lot of sense to a lot of people, but when you're old enough to spell a curse word, you're old enough to tie a tie. If you like when we really start thinking about it, if you're capable of tying your shoelaces, you should be capable of doing a Windsor knot. I did tell Steven that I was going to be eventually trying to do a video to show people how to tie certain ties, and I'm going to have to take time out of my week to start putting those together and start posting those up. But how to tie a tie is very important, right? Because it aids you in your capabilities of distinguishing what kind of person you are. Because take for this tie specifically is an eldritch knot, right? It is equivocally like a trinity knot, right? And there's meaning behind the knot, areas of sophistication. When it comes down to a tie, we're not even on the tie area because we just started talking about the shirt, but the tie itself is supposed to come down to your belly button or a little bit lower than your belly button, and it should not be all the way down to the floor. Now, if you're wearing a vest over your tie, it is possible for you to make the tie shorter because nobody's going to see where the tie ends. And then you can utilize the rest of the tie in working on your tie knot. So you can have a thicker eldritch knot, you can have a trinity knot, you can have all kinds of other styles of knot that emphasizes the neckline that actually brings more attention to your face than like them looking at everything else, right? But you learn how to you practice how to tie ties instead of practicing TikTok dances, and you find yourself more successful in life. Let's just throw that out there. Now, pillar number two, the power of a neutral palette. If you haven't paid attention throughout the show, throughout the season, throughout the years, for the most part, I have predominantly all neutral colors. I have like one, I think the orange suit is like a really loud suit. I got that orange suit for a couple of reasons. One, my brother likes orange. Two, inmates wear orange, and I thought that it was very entertaining because I was going to a court date one day, and I I won the case, and in winning the case, I'm the only person in an orange suit that is not issued by the state. So it kind of was like a paying homage to a situation. The suit comes in plenty of different occasions. So it wasn't just a one-time usage thing. The suit actually works for Halloween because it kind of gives off that pumpkin look. So the suit could be used for more than one thing. But outside of that orange suit, most of the other suits that I have, dark colors, dark blue, blacks, midnight blues, ivories, everything to that effect, that are all darker colors that mix and match with dark greens, forest greens, everything to that effect. And with all of these colors being mostly neutral colors, when I start adding like light blues, sky blues, whites, and everything to that effect to the fold, they mix and match without an issue. So I don't have to ask myself as a man, does this color or this shade go with this color or this shade? I can just put them together however I want. Now, this is where women of value come in at because when a man is trying to dress himself, he's got this long wardrobe of things. Her selecting which items blend well together, a bit blend better together than his original selection helps him select a more tighter fit that not tight like physically tight, but a more tighter fit that's more organized and more structured with a better color palette, right? Women have value, they just don't use it. Now, if you've ever noticed how truly wealthy people rarely wear loud, flashy colors. I love shiny, right? You'll see me in a lime green satin shirt, but it'll be under a forest green dark color shirt. I love shiny. But women of not women of value, wealthy individuals, they stick to a refined neutral palette. Outside of when you see them on the runway floors, the Oscars, the Emmys, when they're going places to show off, they deliberately wear outfits that draw attention to them. When they're going places to get money, when they're going places to make money, when they're going places to spend money, that's not the way they're looking. They're looking normal, like a political conversation on CNN. Everybody's in dark colored suits. You've got the rookie in a light blue suit or a light gray suit, but all of the guys that's been doing this for 20 years are wearing dark colored clothes. You can tell the newbies from the legends because the newbies have bright clothes on and the legends have dark clothes on. You can tell just by watching every. I'm not even going to sit here and come from a political perspective. It doesn't matter if you're a Republican or Democrat. The guys who've been here for a while all got dark clothes on, dark blues, blacks, all got dark clothes on. The guys that just got in the door, just grabbed a suit for the sake of grabbing a suit, those are the guys that got light color clothes on. The guys who work for the place, not necessarily representing any constituents, those guys got light color clothes on. Then the individuals um the individuals who work security all got black suits, right? So you know who's supposed to be here, right? Exactly. The pros, they look like me. The guys, the legends, they look like me. They got dark color clothes on, and they're just you can tell like this person's been doing this for far too long, right? And then the guys who didn't know what the hell they were doing, who just threw something on, yeah, they got a suit on, but it's a little bit brighter than everybody else, and they stand out. Ironically, a pastel suit or a light blue suit stands out in a room full of dark blue suits. A light gray suit, uh, uh, what do you call that? Because a charcoal gray is actually going to blend in with blacks and navies. But when you see like a light gray or a smoked white kind of color, that's going to stand out with everybody else's outfit, right? So when you're trying to get that professional millionaire lifestyle look, you want to have outfits like navy, charcoal, gray, black, white. Beige is a darker brown, not a light tan. and then earthy tones like the olive color, which is a dark green, or brown color, which is darker than beige. And there's going to be a good reason for this. The only thing that may give someone away would be a watch. Bro, you can tell a lot about a man by the watch that he wears. And a man with a high tech watch in a lot of situations shows more value in a room full of men than a man with a Rolex. While Rolex is a timepiece that outstands the test of time, you can tell what kind of man you're talking to based on his watch. And ironically, we should cover a show on that too, now that I think about that. Um, I'm gonna figure out how to squeeze that in on one Saturday. What does your watch tell about you? Now, for those of us that aren't wearing watches, um, I mean, it doesn't really because a timepiece is a fashion statement, and a fashion statement isn't a terminology. It actually is your ability to identify yourself and set a self-made brand of yourself just based on the watch that you wear, just based on the ties that you carry, just based on the clothes that you put on, the shoes that you wear. This is what we say when we say build your uniform. This isn't a work uniform for the job. This is your identity, is the clothes that you wear. You create your identity with your clothes instead of your clothes creating you, right? So yeah, like Michael said, a watch is going to say a lot about who you are. And if you're trying to wear a watch that imitates a luxury watch, then you will be perceived as an imitator. If you're wearing a genuine article, you are more perceived as an original. However, if you're wearing an overpriced watch, people will know that's overpriced and they're going to know you're trying too hard. But also, a cheap watch can be perceived as reasonable, especially when you mix and match it with an outfit that is reasonable. And millionaires are not going to look at you and say, "Oh, well, this broke son of a gun because he's wearing a $20 watch in a room full of $5,000 watches." But if that watch is a subtle watch and that watch is not as gaudy, look at my watch, not the rest of me kind of watch, he put himself together, and the sophistication is still there because in wealth, the sophistication is not about how much the outfit costs. It's about what the outfit represents. And that's why it's called a fashion statement. So he says he's got a automatic Seiko dive watch 200 meter. I seen one of those. I went and looked at it after you talked to me about it with Pepsi Cola. That's actually a pretty good watch. I didn't look at the Pepsi Cola one though. But I did look at the Seiko watch, and then what was it, the Gecko or Geico watch that Steven was talking to me about the other day. I have always been looking at the Hamilton watches, and I've been looking at the Hamilton watches since I seen the Men in Black wearing those Hamilton watches because I'm a huge like Men in Black 1 fan. And then when they did Men in Black 2, and I think Men in Black 3, where the watches changed, but they were all Hamilton watches, I was like, damn, that's a nice watch. But it's a $1,500 watch. The one that Steven was talking about was like $5,000 watch, but you can find them in certain places for like 150, $200. Again, status symbol can come from the style of watch that you buy. A $5,000 watch shows a different status symbol than a $500 watch. It shows a different status symbol than a $50 watch. But you're not trying to buy a $5,000 watch when you can't afford a $5,000 car just so that people can look at your wrist and think that's an expensive watch. I would say that your watch and any other accessories on your attire should not be the most expensive thing on you. If you accent your tie with a necklace, because a necklace or a chain, because some of the young bucks are doing that these days. If they put on a suit, they have an actual chain instead of a chain clip that clips onto the tie. They have an actual chain that they wear around their neck that hangs over the tie, and sometimes there's a pendant hanging off of it. Kind of gives you a little bit of modern style with old school traditional look. And If that's a $10,000 gold chain around your neck or $15,000 silver chain around your neck, and you're wearing a $500 suit at most, it doesn't go well. Okay, the chain around your neck should not be the most expensive piece, where it costs more than the rest of your outfit. So if your whole outfit cost you $500, the watch you're wearing should not cost you $500. If your whole outfit, including your shoes, including your socks, including your underwear, should not cost more than $500, then your watch should not be costing more than $500. The timepiece should blend in as an accessory under the similar budget of everything else. Now, when you upgrade and you start having $5,000 and $10,000 suits because you're a multi-million dollar man, and you have $5,000 and $10,000 shoes because you're a multi-million dollar man, and then you get that $1,000 watch, the watch is still not the most expensive thing on you. Your suit costs more than your watch. Your shoes cost more than your watch. You gotta understand the budget there. So that's going to be, I guess, to help Steven out when he asked that question before. What do I think about a watch? The watch itself should not cost more than the whole outfit combined. It should be a percentage of cost. And I should be able to, over the next few days, actually figure out what a good budget is for a timepiece when you're operating on a budget suit. Now, let's start with these neutral colors that are going to be timeless. They just don't go out of style no matter what happens. A navy blazer was stylish 50 years ago, still stylish today. And it will be stylish 50 years from now. Most of the suits that I have, I bought in 2010 or 2012, and it's 2026, and they still look like I just got them yesterday. Some of them could use a tailor, but for the most part, they all look very sharp. If I wanted to save money on upgrading my wardrobe, one of the things that I would get, Timex, fantastic watch to get, always keeps ticking. But one of the things that I would do is I would take the largest quantity of my um clothes that could use a tailor, take them to a tailor, and have the tailor replace buttons, fix zippers, and adjust anything that needs to be adjusting first. And then anything that's not fixable, throw it away. And then step two would be to go buy more stuff. Anything that's stained where they can't get the stain out, anything that's damaged where they cannot repair it, because you can actually take it to a tailor and have them fix all of the buttons and zippers and everything to that effect, and then take it to a dry cleaner and have them remove any stains or anything to that effect. And if there's something that they can't fix, if there's stains around the collar that they can't fix, that's it. You get rid of that outfit. And then you can replace that with new ones. Now you have casual attire in scenarios where you're okay with getting dirty and messy, but you have professional attires. That's the newer stuff, and the older stuff gets phased down, and the newer stuff starts becoming the priority. This is going to be how you stop chasing trends, and it's going to help you with building a wardrobe that actually lasts. Because with this type of attire, worst thing that can happen, like Michael said, there's a few extra buttons all over the place on your suit that can be utilized if you take it to a tailor and replace any buttons that are missing. Then any buttons that are left on the suit, the tailor can put similar buttons on or replace all of the buttons on the suit so that you have a full collection of buttons for later on if you've lost all the buttons except for two, right? So instead of throwing your suit away because the only thing you're missing is a couple of buttons, you could take that to a tailor and have them replace the buttons, then take it to a dry cleaner and have them get rid of all the stains. And that's 50, $75 for 25 or 30 items to get rebuttoned and rezippered is way cheaper than $200 for one outfit at the store, because you can bring back to life all of the clothes that always look good on you before. Second, a neutral palette makes everything interchangeable. You have the capabilities to have solid colors where, black on black or two-tone black on white. But when your core pieces are all in these complementary shades, you can practically get dressed in the dark and still look put together because all you have to do is just put something on. This tie did not come in the same collection as this shirt, but the white and blue pattern of the shirt is the same complexion as the white and blue pattern of the tie. And even though they're different patterns, because one is a checkered pattern and the other one is a swivel pattern, the fact is that they accent one another, and I could just throw the tie on with the shirt. And in this particular dynamic, I can either put on a black blazer, I could put on a dark blue blazer, I could put on a white blazer and match with this shirt. And that's three different outfits with just this shirt and tie. So this is one of the things that actually makes it easier because not only can you have a black blazer, black pants, you can have black pants and a navy blazer. You can actually go out on a limb and have dark blue pants and a white sport coat to match the blue shirt with the white accents in it. These are so many different ways that you can mix and match these outfits and still look put together. Then, if any event that you don't have just straight solid color shoes, if you have two-tone color shoes that match this outfit, whether it's dark blue and white shoes, black shoes, black shoes with white accents in them, you can mix and match those and put them with this outfit. This is going to be the secret to creating hundreds of outfits from just a few items. It eliminates decision fatigue and it makes looking stylish effortless. So instead of wondering, oh, I don't want to wear the same outfit that I wore last week, or I don't want to wear the same outfit that I wore earlier this month, you can actually mix and match certain clothes and you look like a different outfit every time you leave the house, where you can have a different combination every day for 30 days, where then by the time you get back to by the time you get back to um the first combination, they forgot that you even had that, right? He said the stains. Sorry, my mind started to wander. It was said, it was saying it is hard to get blood stains old. Yes, it's hard to get blood stains out. Look, if you got situations where you got blood stains on your clothes, um, my recommendation is for you to have uh different outfits to back that up. Now, dark color outfits actually help with situations like bloodstains and stuff to that effect because it doesn't stand out as much. Red wine and other such things, when women throw their drinks on you, if you're wearing dark color clothes, it doesn't stand out as much. And then in modern times, if you're buying suits that have the Scotch guarded water resistant or water repellent outfits, when they throw things on you, because apparently women are allowed to do this, when they throw things on you, it will run off of the clothes. And instead of wiping it off of your clothes, which rubs it in, you can dab your clothes and get those uh, um, the moisture out of the clothes before the color sets in, the stain sets in. But this still allows you in these situations after you've dabbed your coat clean, you can like excuse yourself. And while some other individuals that are less prepared would go to the bathroom and try to wash their sport coat and try to get the stain out of their sport coat, you can simply just go back to the car, change your sport coat, and come back in with a different sport coat on and finish the event, finish the evening without actually missing out on too much of the event or spending the rest of the evening looking bad, right? The orange looks good on you. Yeah, have a good lawyer. Oh man, he's like 30 minutes ago. He gonna be throwing comments there from a while back. You must have just got here after a commercial. Third thing, neutral colors just look sophisticated and mature. So They don't scream for attention. And that's one of the things as men we're not really trying to do. The women want us to look at them. Our goal is not to demand for people to look at us. And loud, gaudy colors do exactly that. It says, look at me, look at me. So does expensive chains and expensive watches. Look at me, look at me. Some of us, when we first get the chain and when we first get the watch, we deliberately position it in a place where people actually look at it so that they can say something about it, right? We'll fidget with the watch and stuff like that so that people know that it's there. Because when your hands move, people watch your hands more than they watch anything else, right? Michael said, God bless America. Well, God needs to put more effort into America because with the way we behave, we going straight to hell. Make sure y'all like and subscribe, like Michael said. So instead of screaming attention, darker color clothes provide a clean, elegant canvas that lets the fit and the quality of the clothes do the talking for you, which prevents you from spending so much time and effort about bragging about who you are and what you do and where you come from. That's going to be the essence of quiet luxury for people to just know based on how they look at you that you are the right person to talk to, right? Because I always say, I may make it to the end of the world as we know it, and it may come true. Well, buddy, if he gets one more term, because um, in accordance with the Constitution, any one president currently is allowed to do 2 terms or 10 years. So without modifying the Constitution, since President Trump has fulfilled 2 terms, it is possible for him to do one more term because he would have done 8 years and one more term would have gave him 2 more years in that term. And at his age, it is likely that he might not finish the third term based on his age. And he would be the first president in the history that we can remember that actually made it to a third term because it does not state that he is not allowed to do a third term. It just says that the maximum quantity of terms that he can have is 10 years consecutive because it says 2 consecutive terms or 10 years. So if he's there for a decade, that's it. But since he did one 4 year term a couple presidents ago, he's doing one 4 year term now. He technically can get back in there and do 2 more years after he finishes, which will give him a 6 year stretch. First president to give us 10 years. And if he's in there for that 2 years, it is not likely that they're just going to automatically put him out for the last 2 years, right? Because look at his age right now. If he makes it the full 4 years, where he doesn't just pass from old age, then likely, I mean, he's going to be the only one that does 12 because we're not going to do a midterm presidential election. It would throw off the trends of our government. He said Truman served 2.5 terms before he passed in office. Okay, which president was President Truman? Because as I said, as far back as we can remember, and Truman wasn't in the last 40 years. So when was President Truman? Because remember, I'm like 42, 41, 42 years old. So as far back as I can remember is the 80s. And President Truman would have been like the 40s or 50s, right? During World War II, right? And that was 1940, 1941, 1942, right? So Truman did 2.5 terms consecutive before he passed in office in 1942, 1941, 1940. Do you know Washington? I mean, George Washington could have done his 10 years like over 100 years ago, like 1800s, 1700s. But again, we don't talk about George Washington and his if he did 10 full years or 20 full years in office. We only talk about George Washington when we talk about freeing the slaves. We only talk about George Washington when we talk about World War One or the Civil War. We don't talk about George Washington from a political standpoint of how many presidents have effectively covered that 2.5 years, I mean 2.5 terms of presidency during a lifetime kind of thing. But we do understand that you only need to be 35, an American citizen, and in the country for, well, American born citizen and in the country for the last 15 years consecutively. And that means that if you move to another country and you stay in another country gone for a year, that disqualifies you for presidency. But if you go to another country on a vacation, that doesn't count against you, right? Most kids don't know that George Washington is the first president, but most kids don't know the 55 presidents that we have. Most presidents don't know all of the presidents. Most people don't know that we had a black president before Barack Obama, and he was the one that was in office, I think, for about 30 days or so. This is 17.5 presidents in my lifetime. That's my point. Most people don't know all of the presidents. So there's so much history that we don't get taught. But we spend like 3 months out of the year talking about slavery, 4 months out of the year, because Juneteenth we talk about slavery one more time, right? Now, pillar number three, timeless over trendy. The fashion industry is literally designed to make you feel out of date. It survives by churning out new trends every season to convince you to buy more stuff. However, a lot of us are learning right now in 2025 that the outfits that used to be the thing in 1970 are starting to come back into style. Every 10 years or so, old trends are being recycled back in. The millionaire wardrobe rejects this idea completely. Instead of focusing on what is in right now, which ultimately, if you're only focusing on what's in right now, it is going to be an outfit that is not going to be valuable to you for very long. Instead, you focus on what has always been in all of the time. There is no dress code that prevents me from walking into a building in a suit. You cannot wear street clothes to a formal occasion. You cannot wear jeans in certain situations. You cannot wear sneakers in certain situations. But there is no scenario where you are not allowed to walk up in a suit. If you pick an outfit that is not limited, you have more versatility. The elephant pants. Yeah, the elephant pants coming back. Bell bottoms. Actually, bell bottoms was when we started first seeing elephant pants become slim fit. That's when we started seeing elephant pants become slim fit with bell bottom pants. And then the Gothic group used elephant pants to emphasize their all black look with chains and zippers and piercings and tattoos all and black on black all over the place kind of stuff. It's crazy. It's coming back. Hippie pants. Hippie pants are bell bottom pants, and hippies are like Woodstock, right? Burning Man, right? It's all coming back. Tie dye clothes and everything. It's all coming back. This means that if you're wearing formal and semi-formal wear, anything with huge flashy logos not really going to work for you. Real luxury is understated. It doesn't need to advertise. Most of the suits that I wear, I gotta look for the name. Marina, I gotta look for the name. Gotta find the name. It's up here somewhere. But Nike, big ass Nike check on the chest. Reebok, big ass Reebok on the chest. Adidas, big ass Adidas on the back. You know it's Adidas because it says it's Adidas. You know that it's Rockaware because it says that it's Rockaware, right? Chains around the neck like Mr. T kind of shit. Yeah. You know what you know name brand clothes because it's the name's brand on the exterior of the clothes where everybody can see it. But true class is covering that. Yeah, and when styles change, Tommy Hilfiger is no longer in style. Calvin Klein is no longer in style. Fubu is no longer in style. And that means that when you walk out with Fubu across your chest, you are wearing out of style clothing, right? But if you walk outside in a three-piece suit, you look sharp. This is going to mean that choosing classic silhouettes over what weird cut is popular this month is going to be more important. A pair of straight or slim fit dark wash jeans was always and will always be in style. It doesn't necessarily have to be slim fit. Women would wear slim fit, dark wash jeans, and men could wear straight pants, straight jeans. While ultra skinny or super baggy jeans are tied to specific eras. The modern 2025 era is the ultra skinny jeans for the ultra skinny men. You got men that are thinner than olive oil from Popeye, and they're wearing ultra skinny jeans and then wearing them baggy hanging off of their behinds. And then you have the ultra baggy jeans where individuals that are uncomfortable with their slimness wear ultra baggy jeans so that you can't tell what their figure looks like. Oh, I noticed Hilfiger is coming back in style. Why you think I mentioned him? Hilfiger's coming back in style. Calvin Klein is starting to come back in style. People stopped wearing Hilfiger for a while because of the racial comments that were made by Hilfiger at some point in time, and I think the same thing happened with Calvin Klein. But they're coming back. And denim jeans is always the thing. Wranglers can get you far. Wranglers can get you far, but Levi's will get you a lot further than Wranglers. Name brand clothes. But Levi's will get you further than Wranglers because Levi's are dark blue and black jeans, where Wranglers are usually the lighter blue washed jeans. This is going to mean inventing a quality fabric that lasts or investing in a quality fabric that's going to last. So you're not buying something for the name. You're buying something that is going to be there for a long period of time. You're paying attention to the stitching. You're paying attention to the double stitching. You're paying attention to the thickness of the material, whether or not it's prone to ripping or not. Like some of the clothes that we talked about on Timu might be a good quality stretching fabric, but the zippers are low quality. So while you might be able to go and buy you a full wardrobe of pants for like $100, you might be able to buy you like 20 or 30 pairs of pants for $100 off of Temu. You're still going to have to take them all to the tailor and have all the buttons redone and have all the zippers redone. But it's cheaper to do that with pants that fit, especially stretchy pants that fit with a appropriate belt than it is to go and spend $200 per pair of pants each time. He said twingy pants. Yep. Levi's with the red stitching. If you're wearing Levi's with the red stitching in it, you have to accent that with a red shirt or a salmon shirt. And that's going to be another scenario where instead of wearing a black belt, you might wear the Levi's with the red stitching, and then you wear a dark red belt around it because you only got like the red stitching around the little brown square that says Levi on it. But with the red stitching on it, you can actually have the like a dark red belt that matches the stitching that accents that the red around your pocket, and then you can also have like a burgundy color pair of shoes that goes with that, and then you can have a salmon shirt that goes with that. And notice how we just took a pair of jeans and turned it into casual Friday at the office, right? Now, natural fibers like cotton, wool, and linen don't just look and feel better than cheap synthetics. They also hang on your body better and holds their shape. When you got a little extra money and you want to go and grab you some silk and satin, you can go ahead and do that. But I strongly recommend that you start with the thicker colors or the thicker materials. Cotton and wool, easy to wash. Regular linens, easy to wash. You don't have to do any special laundry treatments with them. You just throw them in a machine and wash them. And if you're doing dark color clothes, you don't have to separate anything from anything and worry about putting anything in bleach. You can just throw everything into the washing machine and wash them together. Take them out, throw them in a dryer, wash them together, then take them out. Right? He said that would look good. I know. I know that would look good. That's why as soon as you said it, I was like, sheesh. Because you can get you a dark, it's either a dark red belt or a burgundy belt to match that red stitching from the Levi jeans, and then get you some dark burgundy shoes or burgundy with the black tip shoes, and you're wearing black socks, black satin socks with those, or some dress socks with those. Then you match that with a salmon shirt, and you can actually keep from overdoing it by getting a either a vest or a blazer that is the same tint as the Levi jeans that you're wearing. So if you're wearing dark blue Levi jeans, you can wear like a dark blue or navy coat. But if you're wearing Levi jeans that are like black, you can have like either a midnight blue or black blazer on top of that. Or if you're wearing a vest, you can have the vest on top of the satin shirt. If you're doing a tie, you could throw on a red tie. Uh, well, you don't want to throw a red tie on top of a salmon tie. You want to counter it. So you want to have a tie that matches the pants so that you have the color accented on top of the shirt. So you got a salmon shirt if you're wearing like the dark blue Levi jeans with the red stitching, and then you want to put on a dark blue tie that matches the dark blue jeans, and then you put on a blazer, not a blazer, a vest on top of the shirt. So you have the red salmon's the long sleeve shirt, the dark blue uh, uh, vest with the dark blue I mean tie with the pants and the shoes and everything. You got a whole outfit there. Then you can go one step further because if you're utilizing uh, shades of red, shades of black, or shades of blue, you can mix all of that up with a fedora, black leather fedora. So accent you with a hat. And if you're using a regular timepiece to bring that all together, that's 1952. That would look really good. It's simple and stylish. It's not doing too much, but you would stand out in a crowd of people that's got, you know, t-shirts on and shorts hanging off their behinds with socks and slippers on. Oh, that would be the zipping. Oh, okay, that's what you were talking about. Great idea. I'll see you. I'll see you tomorrow night, Michael. Get your chest on. Get ready for checkmate. Now, a simple merino wool sweater, for example, is made from fibers that could be less than half the width of a human hair, making it incredibly soft and breathable. While a quality cotton like uh, Supima is twice as strong as regular cotton, resisting pilling and tearing. By sticking to these three pillars, using those two types of material as well, you have the ability to remember that fit is king, a natural palette, and timeless over trendy. You're not just buying clothes, you're building a system. And you're going to create a framework for style that will serve you for years, no matter your budget. Because when you're buying this a little bit at a time over the course of months and years, you find yourself in a position where these clothes, you spent $2,000 on your clothes over the course of 2 years, you find yourself still wearing those same clothes 20 years later. You have effectively saved more money and had a better opportunity cost with the remaining money than what you would have buying a $500 outfit every month. Not to mention, as life changes, as your physical condition changes, you can go from having, if you went 2 sizes up, you can change your pants out and keep your shirts. If your gut came out a little bit more, you might change out your shirts. But if the pants are still fitting you correctly, you don't have to rebuy the entire outfit. Um, Mending this type of wardrobe is cheaper than replacing a wardrobe based on branding. All right, now let's get to the arsenal. This is the exact 20-piece collection that will become the foundation of your new wardrobe. And we're going to build this over a 30-day challenge. Remember, this goal is strategic acquisition, not mindless shopping. Every piece is chosen for its insane versatility based on simple math. Just four tops, three bottoms, two jackets, and three pairs of shoes can create 72 different outfits, which ultimately can ride the wave of 2.5 months worth of clothes without having to do laundry. Well, I stand corrected because if you've got about 3 days worth of clothes, you're going to have to recycle a couple of these things technically, but you have 72 different combinations of outfits. So you are able to start off with a good setup here. But if you were to expand on this and multiply on this for each time you multiply this collection, you could find yourself with 720 different ways to wear your outfits if you're looking at having like 10 times as many of these, right? So we're gonna get into this list. The list is going to be even more powerful than you think because it's very simplistic. So let's break down the categories. First, category one is going to be your trousers. We're going to have three core pieces here: navy blue or charcoal wool trousers, navy or charcoal wool trousers. This is your formal workhorse. It's more versatile than black trousers and can be dressed up with a blazer or dressed down with a sweater. And you have those sweater vests where you can wear a long sleeve button down shirt of any kind, throw a sweater vest on top of it to accent it without having to sweat yourself to death. And even if you're the kind of person that's allergic to wool, if you have a wool sweater vest on, and you have a collared shirt on, the wool is not actually having direct contact with your skin, so you don't have to worry about breaking out while you're wearing that outfit. But it still gives you a classier look. It gives you a classier, um, laid back evening wear kind of look. Then you want to look for wool blends for great drape and durability, as wool is naturally wrinkle resistant because of its weight. The gray or camel chinos. This is your ultimate smart casual pants. Chinos are a step up from jeans, but more relaxed than wool trousers. A mid gray or classic camel or khaki color is incredibly versatile and pairs with almost anything, right? The dark wash slim fit jeans or straight jeans, if you my era, you have to get a pair of clean dark indigo jeans with no distressing, no rips, no tears, no fading. Okay, solid color. The dark wash lets you dress them up with a blazer or keep them casual with a t-shirt. You can stick to a slim or straight fit for a silhouette that never gets old. This allows you to self-identify in a level of success, not be um, arbitrarily socially identified based off of other people's expectations. Now, category two, five core pieces here. The crisp white dress shirt. This is going to be the backbone of any man's wardrobe. It works with a suit, under a sweater, with the chinos, with the jeans. You name it, you've got it there. Button down shirt, crisp. Focus on high quality cottons like Sapima, which has extra long fibers that makes it softer and more durable. You want to look at the light blue dress shirt, where the second most important shirt you can own comes here. Light blue adds a touch of color while staying neutral and professional. Notice the light blue matched with the dark color, and this is actually a darker blue, closer to black color, like almost a midnight blue kind of color, but it accents it. It looks fantastic with navies, grays, and camel, right? The white crew neck t-shirts, the ultimate layering piece. If you're wearing it under an open shirt, a blazer, or on its own, you're able to stand out, or not so much stand out, but maintain your position without overly putting an effort for standing out. A high quality, well fitting white tee is essential. Look for one with some weight on it, made from superior cottons that resist shrinking and stretching in the washer. The black or navy crew neck t shirts are a darker tee that gives you a different base for your outfits because what is under your shirt more often than not alters the visualization of your shirt. Having a dark shirt under this shirt allows the white on this shirt to be seen better than if there was a white undershirt under this shirt that was shining brighter under the shirt than the white on top of the shirt. A lot of times you can find yourself with a person that is wearing a white shirt and maybe an orange or a red shirt underneath, and you can see the color from underneath the shirt on top of the shirt because the brightness of the undershirt. So you want to make sure that your undershirt does not stand out more than your overshirt. So a black or navy t-shirt with dark jeans or chinos creates that sleek monochromic look that is effortless and extremely cool. And then we have that navy polo shirt, which is a good polo is perfect bridge between a t-shirt and a dress shirt. A navy polo with structured collar that doesn't curl looks much more put together than a simple tee and works for casual Fridays, weekend brunches, or a nice evening out. It also is one of the best ways for you to get into a management kind of look where you're going from wearing the regular t-shirt that everybody else wears, the uniform shirt from the job, to wearing polos on the job like the rest of the management. You'll come to find that a lot of the blue collar jobs that have a dress code, they make you wear their uniform unless you're wearing a suit. Unless you got the polo shirt with the slacks on it, they're not going to tell you you can't come in like that. If you're dressed like management, dressed like leadership, they're not going to tell you, oh, you have to put on X, Y, and Z outfit. If they the the dress code that they put on is the basic level of appropriate attire. And if you dress above that, they will not challenge your attire, right? Let me go ahead and change these headsets real quick. We don't want to have another mic not working again. All right. So this is why I got two of these. I got these from Timo. They're like $20 a piece. And I got both of them just in case, because if one of them dies, it's like 30 minutes to an hour to recharge. And I was like, nah, I don't want one to die. But it lasts like a day and a half before I have to charge it back up. Now, um, woot. Off to the next part. The Navy Blazer. If you buy one jacket only, okay, this has got to be the one. You have got to get you a Navy Blazer. It is arguably the most versatile piece a man can own. You can wear it with wool trousers, chinos, and every dark pair of jeans that you own. Look for an unstructured or lightly structured jacket, which is going to be one for the most versatility in your wardrobe. An unstructured blazer lacks the internal padding and heavy lining of a traditional suit jacket, giving it a more relaxed and natural feel. It's also not going to be as hot. The gray or camel knit sweater is going to be another one that's really good. It's a lightweight crew neck sweater, crew neck surrounding neckline, in merino wool or a cotton cashmere blend. That is your go to layering piece for 3 seasons a year: late fall, all of winter, and early spring. Merino wool comes from a specific breed of sheep and is known for being exceptionally soft, breathable, and odor resistant. A neutral gray or navy or even camel will work well with every other item in your new wardrobe. You can wear it over a dress shirt, a t shirt, or even under your blazer. Now, the casual bomber jacket, Harrington, or denim allows you to further exacerbate your style here. You need one piece of outerwear that's purely casual: a classic bomber jacket, a Harrington jacket, or a clean dark wash denim jacket fits the bill perfectly in this scenario. This is going to be for your weekends out, for the running errands jacket, for any time a blazer feels like it's a little bit too much. You don't want to go to Walmart in a three-piece suit. Throw on your Harrington jacket, throw on your bomber jacket, right? Then on the fourth category, your shoes. Three core pieces you're going to need here: the brown leather Oxford or derbies. For business casual wardrobes, brown shoes are more versatile than black ones. A classic Oxford or derby in a dark brown leather works with both your wool trousers and your chinos. Oxfords have a closed lacing system, making them more formal, while derbies have an open lacing, making them slightly more versatile and comfortable for those with a high instep. This is your main dressy shoes. The brown leather loafers are a slightly more casual but still sophisticated option. A penny loafer or tassel loafer in brown leather or suede, while suede is a little bit harder to take care of than leather, looks great with chinos and dark jeans. It's the perfect shoe for bridging that gap between formal and casual. The minimalist white leather sneaker, minimalist white, not like Jordan's white. The right sneaker is absolutely part of a millionaire wardrobe, right? The key is that it has to be clean, minimalist, and made of leather. No chunky soles, no loud logos, no crazy colors. A simple white leather sneaker can be worn with chinos, jeans, and in some creative offices, even your wool trousers. Now, the fifth category is going to be the accessories, which is what we were talking about earlier today. This is going to be the final six pieces, but we're like halfway through the show. A brown leather belt, simple with classic silver buckle, like Michael said earlier today, centered with your zipper. Ideally, the shade of brown should be close to your brown leather shoes. Black leather belt for that rare time that you wear black shoes or just want a sharp contrast. A simple classic watch, like we talked about watches earlier. Your watch does not need to be expensive, but it should be classic. A simple analog watch with a leather strap or a metal bracelet adds a touch of sophistication that shows you care about the details. An analog watch is a face clock watch, not the digital watch. For those individuals who don't know how to tell time, the analog watch might not help you tell what time it is. You might still have to pull your cell phone out of your pocket to tell what time it is. But the analog watch adds a little bit more sophistication. And it doesn't even have to be an expensive watch. You can get you a regular analog watch from Walmart, from the mall. You can buy it offline. You can get it off of Temu. Just a regular, simple analog watch. Either a dark colored watch like black leather or brown leather or silver metal or rhenium metal that looks gold. Those are perfectly fine. Now, when it comes down to accenting your clothes, you want to remember if you're using a silver or metal looking timepiece, you want to have silver or metal looking cufflinks. You want to have, if you're going to have a chain around your neck, you want to have silver or metal looking uh, uh, chain around your neck. If you're going to have rings on your fingers, whatever rings you have, should not have that many rings on your fingers as a man. But if you do have a ring on it, it should match the timepiece. It should be the same complexion of metal all the way around. For these young men that are wearing earrings, the metal in your earring should match the metal on your arm. So if you have silver, it should be silver. If it's gold, it should be gold, right? Got to keep it the same. You don't want to have a gold watch and then silver cufflinks and then a gold chain and silver earrings. You don't want to have that. If you got silver somewhere, it's all got to be silver. If you got gold everywhere, it's all got to be gold or at least gold looking, right? But uniformity is the expectation. You want everything to be standard on you, and you can have an entire collection of accenting silver pieces, and then an entire collection of accenting gold pieces. And when you decide to wear the gold stuff, you put on all gold, and if you want to wear the silver stuff, you put on all silver. That's where jewelry boxes come from. You have a collection of watches that you wear. You have a collection of cufflinks that you wear to match the watch. You have a collection of thin herringbone necklaces that match the watch and the cufflinks. And if you have like what we call the signet ring, you would have one little signet ring that matches the ring of the ring matches the watch that matches the necklace that matches the bracelet that matches the cufflinks. Uniformity. Everything's got to be the same. Now, dark dress socks. 8 to 10 pairs of these. You might want to get more, especially over time. Some socks get damaged. Sometimes you lose a sock in the dryer. You don't know where it's at. You don't have enough pairs. You go and get you some more, right? Your socks should generally match the trousers. A good supply of navy, charcoal, and black socks is very essential. The only time they're not matching the trousers is when they're accenting the trousers with a dark color. So if you're having like gray or charcoal uh, pants and you have black socks, you're all right. But you should not have yellow socks or white socks with black pants. You're doing a little bit too much. Okay. And please never wear athletic socks. That's those soccer socks all the way up to the kneecap kind of thing with dress shoes. Let's not do that. A slim wallet is really encouraged for the interest of your safety, but it's also good for style. A bulky wallet ruins a clean line of your trousers. The creases of your trousers are going to be devastated by bulky wallets. Switch to a slim leather card holder or a bifolder. This is going to reinforce when we said have a safe at your house. If you had a safe at your house, you have some emergency cash at your house, you have the extra watches in the safe, you have the extra accents to your clothes in the safe, you have all of your extra credit cards that you're not taking with you. You should only have to take one or two emergency credit cards with you, um, your driver's license if you're driving, and your passport card if you're not. Okay. You should not have your passport card and your driver's license in the same wallet. You should have, I mean, you could, but you want to make sure that whatever wallet they're running off with doesn't have both your passport card and your driver's license in it. You need to have at least one photo ID in your wallet, if not two. And you want to make sure that you have at least one credit card, if not two. And then the rest of it in the wallet is the quantity of cash that you expected to spend for the night, or at least the tip that you was expecting to give for the night. You want to make sure that you do that. A leather bag for work is essential. A simple structured leather briefcase or messenger bag looks infinitely more professional than a backpack. All the kids have the mini backpack these days. And a lot of the kids have a mini backpack with their Glock switch in it. A messenger bag, which is almost like a briefcase, but it's kind of got like the fold over with the handle on it. It does have a strap. You can wear that. It's more professional than a backpack. Now, this is going to be the list. These 20 pieces are your building blocks. Now, in the next section, I told y'all we're halfway through the show. I know we've already been here for 2 hours, but we're halfway through the show. It's probably got another 45 minutes worth of stuff to talk about. In the next section, we're going to start the 30-day clock and build this wardrobe step by step. Now, in our membership, you guys have um, in the membership all of this information in there on how to set this up. Would it fit a laptop? Yes. If you're getting the right size. Okay, so first of all, first before we start talking about that, the size of your laptop is going to matter. If you got an 18-inch laptop, there's very few bags or briefcases that holds an 18-inch laptop. If it's 16 inches or less, you're likely to find a briefcase or a satchel or something like that that can hold your laptop. If it's a 13-inch laptop, you can definitely find any type of bag that, especially a laptop, because you can really Google briefcase for laptop, and every place that sells something for that will give you something that holds a 13, 14, 15, probably 16-inch laptop normally. But if you're doing like a 17 or 18-inch laptop, which is like a desk computer without actually being a desk computer kind of thing, you're really going to be looking for custom made stuff. It is out there. It is going to cost a little bit more than like a $20 or $30 briefcase that holds a laptop. But yes, they do have those. And instead of putting your laptop in your back, because you go into college, you might want to put all of your books in your backpack and go to school and have one backpack on your shoulder, and you're in a three-piece suit. You're going to college. That does give you a semi-professional look for the environment that you're in. But if you're in a situation where you're not actually bringing that many books to school, you're using everything is on your laptop. You've got all of your textbooks are digital instead of actual textbooks. You don't carry very many notebooks. You might have your lab book with you for your science classes, but you don't really carry anything else besides a few pens and papers. You can get you a suitcase, not a suitcase, a briefcase that's for a laptop. And in that briefcase, you put your laptop at the base of the briefcase where laptop face up, or the briefcase face up, laptop at the very bottom, so that when you put the briefcase down, you're not putting the laptop down upside down. You put your notebook or whatever on top of your laptop, cushioning your laptop, and then you have your pens and stuff like that in that suitcase. There are plenty of those, and you can find those on Temu. You can find those on Amazon. You can get them from Walmart. They're all over the place. But if you're trying to get like a travel bag, then you want to get one of these bags that it will fit your laptop, and you can also carry a spare pair of shoes. So it's like a to-go bag, that a whole nother outfit, and you can layer your laptop at the bottom or put your laptop on one side of the bag and then zip the bag closed. You're going to see some of these bags that kind of look like a Hershey. It's kind of like square on the sides, but then rounded towards the top. Those type of bags, you can put the laptop at the bottom and then put all the clothes on top of the laptop and then put the shoes on one side or the other, and you can carry everything with you, travel everything with you. And then and these days, actually, some of those bags are designed for your suits, where you layer the suit in the inner lining of the bag and then fold that over the rest of the stuff, and then you put the stuff inside of the suit, where there's a liner in between the suit and the other stuff, and you can put everything in the middle and just wrap your suit around the rest. So keeps your suit from getting wrinkled in your travel bag. Put your laptop in there, and everything is a carry on. It fits into the carry on compartment. Yeah, yeah. So there's so much stuff here, and for those of you that are Second Amendment friendly, there are ways that even in these exact same scenarios, that you can pack your firearm with you and take it with you to most places that allow that. Even if the because with concealed carry, you only have to notify in situations where you're not supposed to be there, like a police station, a courthouse, or something like that, airports or something like that. But if you are going from your house, you're not supposed to have it on campus unless you have a gun permit. But if you're going from your house to a business meeting, you can have an inner pocket with your pistol in there. You can have some briefcases have a second layer to it, where the first layer you would have at the very bottom your pistol underneath then you have a layer on top of that, then your laptop, then your books. Yeah, I know you're not as close to your firearm as you would be if it was like right there, but you can discreetly store it. You have inner pockets where you, especially if you got to conceal, you can kind of tuck it into one of those inner pockets and close your briefcase. And because you're doing it in a way where you're loading your briefcase from top to bottom, you're always going to put your briefcase uh, uh, face up, where when you open the briefcase, your firearm could be in the inner pocket, or if you're going to have it in the hidden compartment because you're taking it somewhere you're not supposed to, the laptop is on top of the firearm, so nobody knows the firearm is in there until you need it, kind of situation. Now, keep in mind, even if you're going to a courthouse, they run that bad boy through an X-ray machine. They will see it, so don't bring it with you to court. But if you're going other places, not government buildings, not schools, not hospitals, whatever the case may be, that have metal detectors and stuff to that effect, you can swing that and take it with you, and you would be able to maintain a professional look and still be able to carry a lot of stuff with you. Now, the challenge is going to begin. It's about buying everything at once. We don't want to do that. We want to do this methodically. Okay. 30-day process of purging, planning, and purchasing is more effective than bulk buying all of this stuff with whatever you got coming in from your tax refund if you haven't gotten your tax refund yet. Each day has a specific task. Follow it exactly. On week one, the great purge is going to occur. And this is going to be the foundation that you're going to be building from day one to day seven, which means that you don't got to do everything in one day. A few minutes a day throughout the week, and you will find yourself in the right spot for the next step. Now, this week is the goal of being ruthless. You can't build something new on a foundation of clutter. On day one, you have to audit your entire wardrobe. Pull every single piece of clothing out that you own, pull it out of your closets, pull it out of the drawers, pull it out of storage bins that are in your house, everything. Lay it out on the bed, lay it out on the couch, create four piles of stuff. Keep, tailor, donate, and trash. Okay? The keep pile is only for items that fit you perfectly right now, that do not require any adjustments. They are in our neutral color palette and are in excellent condition. No require for repairs, no stains, no nothing. Be brutally honest about it. If it's got at least one button missing, you gotta put that in the tailor section. But if you haven't worn it in a year, it's something that goes, right? Day two, define your uniform. Now, let me before we go into defining our uniform, our tailors are going to be any clothes that fits our expectations. However, they're a little bit damaged. The zipper might be messed up on it. It might be missing a button or several buttons. That's going to be stuff that goes to the tailor. Anything donated is something that is not ripped, torn, destroyed in some way, shape, or form, stained up. That stuff that is like gently worn, but it's something that you haven't worn in a year. It can fit somebody else. It's in good condition. Special shout out to Nicole, Detroit, Michigan, in the house. Uh, those are going to be the things that you donate. You donate clothes that you would wear, but you're just not wearing them anymore. Clothes that are full of holes, torn, stained up, collar all are bruised up and everything to that effect. It while I mean I know you could kind of donate it, it's just not fair to donate to an individual that doesn't have anything. You want to throw away something. If you wouldn't be caught dead in it, you don't want to donate it to somebody else for them to be caught alive in it. Okay, so that's how you define the difference. If it's damaged, it's trash. If it is mint condition, it is kept. If it is just missing a couple of buttons or the zipper is off track or something to that effect, it's tailor. If it's in decent condition but it doesn't fit what we're doing right now, it's donated. Right now, we're going to start with defining your uniform. Your uniform is your standard image that you're going to start creating right now. Ladies, y'all can do this too. Look at your actual life. Where do you spend your time? For most of us guys, it's something like office, weekend socials, and then at the house, right? And ladies, it might be somewhat of the same thing. You might have your office, your date nights, and then your weekend socials. And then the rest of the time you're at the house. And at the house includes at your family's house, at your house, hanging out at your friend's house. That's okay. Now, define a go-to uniform for each of these scenarios. For example, an office uniform, blazer, dress shirt, chinos. Weekend uniform, casual jacket, t-shirt, jeans. A clear vision makes getting dressed automatic. And if you've got these wardrobes collected together, you can actually organize them. Now, one of the things I said before is that actually, at least in my house, most of my stuff is on a hanger. Outside of the t-shirts and the underwear and the socks, most of everything else is on a hanger, right? Button down shirts and everything on a hanger. So you can literally put what jacket is going to go with what shirt, whether or not it's going to have a blazer or a vest, whether or not it's going to have a tie or a sweater, and put all of that stuff on the hanger and hang it up on the closet. And what you just did is reduce the quantity of hangers being used in the closet, which gives you more space to put more stuff into your closet and hang things up. And if you get thicker, either the plastic hangers or the wooden hangers, Instead of those really thin wire hangers, you're not going to have to worry about the hangers having too much weight on them and bending and breaking and falling off of the rack. She said, "What are your thoughts on hiring an image consultant?" An image consultant is the kind of career I have no objections to any kind of occupation. An image consultant is uh, a career that helps people improve their image because they don't want to put forth the effort to improve their own image. I don't know what I want to look like. I don't care what I look like. So I want you to change the way I look, and then I will just accept it. That's what an image consultant is going to be. Now, the other half of an image consultant is going to be the kind of person that keeps your image from being disparaged in society. That's going to be the person that scrubs the internet. Any negative videos of you is going to be taken down. Any negative comments about you in social media is going to be taken down. Any bad reports in the news about you is going to be taken down. That is the other half of an image consultant. But as it pertains to how you look every day, that's just you being lazy about your own personal image and paying somebody else to change how you look. Now, for the sake of men, that's what our wife is, our image consultant. Women with great taste in clothes should be able to dress their men better. Back in the 70s, back in the 60s, one of the things that made a woman valuable is being able to keep her man looking like $1 million, even if he was a $10 an hour man. Okay. She would know what goes well with his skin complexion, certain clothes that accented him and brought out the color in his eyes, what went well that made people pay more attention to him and stop and stare long enough for him to say something that keeps their attention so that he could get through a negotiation or debate without an argument. That's one of the things that brought women value. Women don't do that anymore. Women spend so much time looking sexually attractive to the point where they forgot what it takes to look modest and professional. And then they forgot what a man looks like when he looks professional, when he looks well put together. And as a result, that's where image consultants are going to come from, is that a man is not going to be able to um, really figure this out if they weren't watching tonight's show on his own. We have to do a lot of trial and error and pay somebody to help us with our look. But really and truly, if we half-ass had it right, and then we got with a woman of value, she would sharpen up those edges and fix our tie. All women used to know how to tie a tie back in the day, but no women wore ties. Interesting, right? She would fix her tie. She would, make sure that the pleats were right. She would make sure that the coat fits well. Make sure that there was no lint on the jacket where we couldn't see it. And make if you are a dude with dandruff, she would make sure you had no dandruff on the back of your coat before you walked out of the door. We had women with value back in the day. It's hard to find that type of effort in a man from women nowadays. So if you want to hire somebody to give you the information that I've been giving you for the last 2.5 hours, where it would have took more of your free time and then your effort versus a few $100s an hour for somebody to make you spend so much money on replacing your whole closet. Hey, get you an image consultant. But the difference is that they're probably either going to get paid off of the commission of the stuff that they get you to buy, or they're going to be charging you per hour for very large periods of hours to change who you are. And it is going to be based on their taste, not yours. A lot of times, an image consultant can change your image into something that you're not comfortable with. You'll learn to get comfortable with it because you're not going to change your own image. What we're talking about today, and gladly you asked that before we started talking about buying stuff. If you look at who you are and how you dress and what your style should be versus what your style is, you can look in your closet, keep the things that match who you want to be, and the things that don't match who you want to be, that is still in good condition, you can donate that. The stuff that's damaged and tattered, instead of that being the go-to outfits that you have, you can throw that stuff away and make room to buy new things. Anything that's worn out You can move that to the back of the closet, the bottom of the drawers, the back of the chifforobe, and have the nicer quality stuff in the front. So if you're laying around the house doing nothing, you can wear clothes with holes and rips and stuff like that in them because you're in your own house. But if you're going to hang out with company, clothes with holes, a printed shirt where the print is peeling off, clothes with stains on them, that's not what you want to wear even around your closest friends. Your image is your image 100% of the time. So paying for an image consultant to change the way you see yourself is going to be an external observation of what you should look like. And I strongly recommend, to answer your question, that you should look inside of yourself and think about how you want to present yourself to the world and then stick to that, which is why we're giving you a timeless selection of colors and quality of fabrics, which has absolutely nothing to do with a brand, absolutely nothing to do with a specific uh, 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 type of fit, where it for the most part, especially for women, cleavage shouldn't even be there. I know most women show cleavage naturally, but really, you should have a crew collared shirt covering everything below the neck. You shouldn't have shoulders showing. You shouldn't have elbows showing. You shouldn't have anything above the knees showing, right? Now, women aren't going to agree with that, but this is true. You can still layer. You can still layer. You can have a blouse or something like that that comes down past your elbows, and then you can have a different colored slipper blouse or something like that that comes over it, that is like a spaghetti strap thing or something like that that comes over the thing that covers your arms. You could have something that accents your chest without actually showing any skin, and have that midsection thing that still gives you the two-tone pop, but it doesn't actually show the skin. You can also have the girls are used to now showing their midsection, since men are attracted to belly buttons and women don't understand why that is, but it's related to fertility. But the fact is that the women that show their midsection, you shouldn't show your midsection. Instead, you should be able to have your midsection closed and covered and have the two tone attire. Matter of fact, really quick, if you really want to know how to dress like a lady and still have the stylish hipster outfits, go look at all the children on the Nickelodeon and all of the other kids TV shows that where the kids, if you notice, from head to toe, not one girl is showing their belly button on TV. They not showing their ankles, they're not showing their calves, they're not showing nothing from head to toe. They got the short skirt with the long pants underneath it. They've got the halter top on top of the long shirt. They've got sleeves on top of short or underneath short sleeves. They got layers that cover them from head to toe, right? So they can still have like the what they call them skirts with shirt that I mean a skirt that's got shorts underneath them. So instead of having just a short skirt where your underwear is exposed, you have the shorts underneath that is made in the outfit where you put these shorts on and there's a skirt that layers over it. Like there's certain attire that women could actually wear and look sophisticated, look classy, not show all of that skin. But women have taught each other, sexualize yourself. The more skin you expose, the more desired you are by men, and the more you want to be desired by men, the more skin you show. So now you've got your butt cheeks hanging out. You got your shorts all the way up to the base of your butt cheeks hanging out. Your inner thigh is hanging out. If you sit wrong, your camel toes hanging out. And all of this is because you're trying to show more than what you should be showing. A man that's not willing to put a ring on your finger and commit to you should not even know what your damn kneecaps look like. That's just it is what it is. Now, no woman's gonna agree with that, But again, I said this an hour and a half ago. If you really want to know what conservativeness looks like, go look at the female politicians. Look at when the Republicans and Democrats are arguing against one another. What did the women look like in there? Look, if you want to look what the black women look like, look at the lady that was up there arguing with that woman in Congress, and she had her hair did and the eyelashes and a three-piece suit on. She did not have cleavage showing. She did not have elbows showing. She did not have kneecaps showing. She had some black heels on, but that was it. There's a level. If you didn't remember what class looked like, just go look at the politicians, because that's what multimillionaires look like. Politicians. And that's what we're talking about right now. But you can switch your style up. You can accent it in different ways, and you can do this yourself. So while you can always pay somebody to do the things that you don't want to do for yourself, and that's one of the reasons why every Tuesday over the past like 3 or 4 weeks, I've been giving you guys different side hustles and side gigs that can actually turn into a business, because the things that need to be done in life are the painkillers that people have, that they will pay somebody else to do for them because they just don't want to do it. Not because they can't do it, they just don't want to. They can take time out of their day and reorganize themselves. They just don't. So somebody who wants to work on their image, but they don't really want to put in the effort, they'll pay somebody else to work on their image for them. You go to work, you're going to do your thing. You're going to pay the consultant to go through your house and throw out everything that doesn't matter, then go shopping for you, buy everything that they think you should wear. And then you're going to look at it, not feel comfortable with most of it, but you'll get used to it because you paid them to do it. And they threw out everything else, so you don't really have a choice. Right? Because you can't go back and fish it out of the trash because the garbage man just left. You just don't have a choice. You wear whatever they bought you, right? That's kind of the way that is. So with an image consultant, I mean, it's a go to. But me myself, I would only use an image consultant to keep my reputation in line. I would not use an image consultant to dress me every day. I would not use a personal assistant to dress me every day. That's what my wife should be doing. And women are going to feel offended by that. But think about this before you get salty about it. If, let's look at this real quick. I tell you what you can and cannot wear, right? Women are pissed off about that. You pick the clothes that I wear. So aren't you doing the same thing to me that I'm doing to you? You know what my style is. You know what I'm trying to do for work. You pick my clothes for me, and I put on whatever you selected, which saves me a shit ton of time. Now, you put on what I picked for you, and now you look respectable, and I don't have to beat anybody up in a dark alley. Real quick, if you think about it like that, why do women not want a man to reciprocate on telling her how to wear, how to dress? Because in a healthy relationship, if you're telling me how to dress so that I can make more money for you, and I'm telling you how to dress so that you don't cause me to lose this deal with your outfit, aren't we doing the same thing? I'm dressing you, you dressing me. So a man should be able to tell a woman how to look, and a woman should be able to pick out her man's suit. It's mutual respect, it's reciprocation. You're not going to have me looking like a young thug going to meet the president. You're going to put me in something that's going to make me look right because I represent you. You don't want me to embarrass you the same way I don't want you to embarrass me. So if you dress me so that I don't embarrass you, and I dress you so that you don't embarrass me, it's not about insecurity. It is about mutual respect, uniformity. So, as it pertains to your question about an image consultant, what person needs an image consultant if they can trust the judgment of their partner? I know what you like. I know your colors. I know your favorite colors. I know your style, but I know that I can shape this up just a little bit better. And vice versa, you know the same about me. Because we get used to our own style. We don't change 10, 20, 30 years in the making. We just say fuck it and just do whatever. Somebody else outside looking in could be like, you know what? We can just kind of adjust that a little bit, and now you look so much better. I forgot the name of that movie when Nick Cannon was in that movie with that little girl and she taught him how to go from being a dork to being a stud on campus, where she dressed him, she showed him how to behave, and he was picking up all the girls, and Then he messed up the relationship and they got together at the end of the movie. That type of movie. That was one of the last generations where women made the man. Ironically, when that movie came out, that was one of the last generations where women made the man. Right now, the men got to make themselves, and then the women just pick over whoever's made the best. Crazy. But these are the values that we look for in a woman that we don't find these days. So if you don't know how to carry yourself respectably, how can you dress me respectably? Right? Now, day three, the gap list. And this isn't the gap between the legs. We're comparing your tiny keep pile to our 20-piece checklist. What you're going to be missing, that's your gap list. Anything that we threw out that we don't have enough, this is what you're going to be replacing. Now, truth be told, if you don't want to have a missing quantity of clothing, you can have your throwaway pile set aside so that when you replace it, you can then throw it away. But now you know what you need to go and buy based off of what's not there versus what you want it to be there. You're not buying anything yet. You're just making a list of targeting stuff that needs to be bought. Then on day four, you're going to start buying stuff. Start with the trousers. On day four, you're going to have one mission. Just buy one pair of trousers that are going to be core towards your attire. Either navy or charcoal wool trousers, or the gray or camel chinos, or both. I would suggest just one, but if you do two, just be speeding it up. Go to a store, try them on, focus completely on how they fit, not the price. And you want to see how it fits in the waist and in the seat. You don't want it to be too tight around your cheeks. You don't want it to be clinging to your thighs. You don't want it to be emphasizing a print in your camel toe. Nothing like that. It needs to be fit. It needs to be appropriately structured. The length of the pants can be altered. They can be fixed later. Right now, if you're an oddly proportioned person where you got a little bit more caboose, you might have to get something that has a little bit more waist than what you need, which also can be altered. So if your butt fits in the pants, but your waistline doesn't, that's fine. You can alter that. You can take in the waistline, right? If your thighs are bigger than your ankles, that's fine. You can take in the ankle length, right? Don't buy anything else, just the pants. Then on day five, you can purchase the shirts. Your mission on this day is to buy the two most essential shirts that you're going to need: one crisp white shirt and one light blue dress shirt. Again, focusing on the fit in the shoulders and the chest area. You don't want it to be too tight on the of the chest. Don't stress if the sleeves are a bit too long because you can fix that later. You want to make sure that the shoulders fit and you want to make sure that the chest fits. Feel the fabric. Go for 100% cotton if you can, and if you can't, find something really close to that. Then on day six, you want to purchase the casual basics. On this day, you want to be able to add the foundations of your casual wear. Buy one high quality white t-shirt and one navy polo shirt. Pay attention again to the fabric as well as the fit. These pieces get a ton of wear, so this isn't the place to go cheap. You want to just get it. If it's a $55 shirt, you're buying two of them. Everything else can be a little less expensive, but this shirt is going to be worn out. You're going to be wearing this shirt more days out of the month than everything else. Then on day seven, your first outfit test. Using only what's in your keep pile and what you just bought this week. Put together one office outfit and one weekend outfit. Take a picture. How does it look? How do you feel? And notice what is still missing out of the collection. This test is crucial for refining next week's shopping list. And if you're doing a shopping list where you're setting yourself a certain quantity of money per week or a certain quantity of money per paycheck to replace your outfit, you're going to limit spending because notice different days out of a 7 day period, a 7 day period could have done 7 days off. Okay. And that could have been stretched over the course of 7 weeks, unless you went shopping twice a week on your day off. But you're only going to buy one or two things each time you go out. And I only told you to buy four things, 2 to 4 things. So over the course of 7 days of paying attention to this, you would have only bought four things. So if it took you 7 weeks to buy four things, you only bought four things. Okay. So you haven't really chucked out your entire wardrobe of trash stuff, but you are prioritizing your wardrobe of keep stuff. By the way, if you're finding this information helpful and the plan that we're drawing out, if you're ready to commit to it, do me a favor, hit that subscription button. If you haven't done so already, hit the like button. If you've been here before, and if you just got here, if you're watching us on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, the shorts form reel, hit that notification button, because we've got 3 more weeks to go of getting you this information in detail from last week's Saturday night show. And we're going to be providing better and better detailed information about how to continue upgrading this wardrobe to where you have like a whole year's worth of a whole new you. Okay. Now, on week 2, assembling the core and discovering your tailor. This week is where we're getting your high impact pieces and introducing you to the most important person in your journey, not your image consultant, your tailor. And week 1, you could be driving around and looking for tailors in your area. You could be Googling this information and kind of getting prices and stuff to that effect. But eventually, when you walk in the door, it should be week 2 after you've already done week 1, because what is your tailor going to tailor? The stuff that you just bought. The rest of the things your tailor is going to tailor, the stuff that needed to be tailored from your keep tailor pile. Because remember, I told you, you have a keep pile, a tailor pile, a donate pile, and a trash pile. So 2 out of 3 piles you're keeping. And out of the 2 piles, half of them you're tailoring. So when you have stuff to tailor, that's when you start tiptoeing over to your tailor pile. You take your tailor pile to your tailor, get a good price on some of this stuff, get you a budget for it, pay as you go to get stuff back, and add it to your keep pile, right? Because you don't have to tailor everything at once. If you say, well, you only got $100 a month worth of tailor money, that's fine. Your tailor says that the stack you bought costs 175 to get. Okay, well, I'll give you $50 a paycheck to tailor stuff until it's all done. Or, you could drop off like $500 worth of tailor stuff and I give you $50 a paycheck to tailor stuff. And as I give you $50, once I paid off a certain quantity of items, you give me those items and I bring them home. Doesn't matter, because the tailor stuff, the stuff that needs to be tailored, you're not wearing it anyway. You don't wear it because the zipper is broken. You don't wear it because it's missing a button. You don't wear it because it might have a tear near the seam, but it's still pretty good. You can wear it. It just needs to be fixed. If the threading came off of the cuff and it just needs to be restitched, you're not going to throw that away. It's still a good item. It just needs to be tailored, right? A rip in the seam, a rip in a shirt somewhere where it's like the whole back is busted out. That's something that you throw out. But if it's just a minor tear right near the front of the shirt where all it just needs is a regular stitch, since most of us don't know how to sew anymore, you take it to a tailor. But when we were kids, that's the stuff that our mom used to do. One of the things that women have value was stitch up the kids' clothes, keep it looking brand new. Take your tailor stuff to your tailor. Then on day 8, we're going to start purchasing some more stuff. Navy blazer. This is a big one. On day 8, you need to find yourself a navy blazer if you don't already have one. Take your time, try on different brands. It's not about the brand. Your number one priority, again, is going to be the fit across the shoulders, right? And almost everything else can be adjusted. This is one garment that will instantly elevate everything that you own. Then on day 9, you want to purchase the shoes. People judge a man by his shoes. So you're buying your first pair of high status shoes. Again, you're looking at a budget. So whatever your price range is for shoes, that's what your limit is for these shoes. You're willing to buy $350 for a pair of Jordans, you're willing to pay $75 for a pair of dress shoes. So if you find yourself a $150 pair of dress shoes, that's actually very expensive for dress shoes. But you're looking for something that is guaranteedly leather. It can be brown leather like Oxfords or Derbies, right? Look for real, genuine leather and a classic, timeless shape. You don't need to look for like the fancy square with the metal toe thing on it. You don't need to look for all that stuff. Just a regular, ordinary shoe. Okay. And don't forget to grab a matching brown belt to go with those shoes. A few pairs of navy and gray dress socks to kick this off, and you're good to go. Then on day 10, back to that tailor that you found. This is going to be the most important day of the entire month. When you find a local tailor, after you've done your searching over the last couple of weeks, asking a high end clothing store for recommendations while you were in there looking at your own clothes that you were planning on buying. They know tailors in the area because not all the time do the store get the clothes ready to sell. Some things get damaged in shipping and gets brought to a tailor, gets adjusted, and then they put it into the store for sale. So clothing stores know tailors in the area. Actually, that's a networking scenario. If you're a seamstress or a tailor and you want to get clientele, you want to leave your information with local retail stores that are selling clothes because each customer that sells something could likely be well, each store that sells something has a customer that likely could be your partner customer because you can help adjust the clothes that don't fit correctly. So just like the image consultant partnering with a tailor or a tailor partnering with a clothing store, best way to bring clientele. So you can get those recommendations from whatever clothing store that you're in shopping at the time. The employees would know even if the manager doesn't, right? Take the blazer, the trousers, and the shirt that you bought to them, especially if they don't fit perfectly. The blazer might need a sleeve shortened or a waist taken in. The trousers might need a hem to be the perfect slight break. And the shirt can have darts added to the back to remove the billowy fabric that we have on there. And this is going to be the secret step that makes affordable clothes look more expensive. You can get those dirt cheap store clothes out of like Walmart, Macy's, Burlington Coat Factory, K&G's, Kenneth Cole. You can go and get like dirt cheap clothes and then bring it to a tailor where you spent like $20, $30 for each one of these items. Take it to a tailor and spend $50 to get all of this stuff tailored instead of $250 an item, and it don't fit right. And God forbid you still got to pay for the tailor, right? Now, on day 11, that is going to be testing the millionaire uniform. Your tailored pieces should be back as soon as like in a week or two, right? Then you want to assemble the ultimate business casual uniform. This is going to be your tailored navy blazer, your tailored white shirt, your tailored chinos, and your new brown leather shoes. Look in the mirror. This is the look that you have been looking for. You will notice how the clean lines and perfect fit create an aura of polish and success. And I understand that while this is going to be a little bit more of a lifestyle creep, as you change this wardrobe over, you also are going to have the responsibility and probably even a personal preference to start transitioning into dry cleaners that also have a tailor in it, getting your clothes cleaned up, and maintaining certain materials for even longer. Either way, get it done. On day 12, test that smart casual uniform. Dress it down a bit. Pair the navy blazer with your dark wash jeans and the light blue shirt for the shoes on this day. is the day that you're going to be grabbing your brown leather loafers. If you don't have them yet, that's what you're going to be getting next time around. This is going to be the perfect look for a date night or an upscale event, which ironically, you're likely going to be invited to more often because of how you carry yourself. Then on day 13, out of 30 days, y'all, out of 30 days, on day 13, you start to accessorize. On today's mission, this is going to be where your classic analog watch gets picked up for the fellas. Ladies, y'all are going to have that watch too, but fellas are going to have their watch on top of their wrist, and the ladies are going to have their watch underneath the wrist. There's a difference between the two. It still does not need to be a Rolex. A simple, elegant watch from a brand like Timex or Seiko shows attention to detail. Also, make sure you've switched to a slim wallet if you haven't done so already. Ladies, instead of having that gigantic black hole of a purse, y'all can have a little pocketbook. You really only need one photo ID and maybe one credit card, the one with the lowest balance on it to cover what you're trying to do for the night, and any small quantity of cash that might cover the tip or cover whatever your credit card can't cover, right? Minimalist. That's why it's a handbag. It should be just enough stuff to be in your hand. Maybe some chapstick. That's pretty much it, right? Gigantic black hole of a purse where you have to sift around to get what it is that you're looking for. It's too much, right? Day 14, review what's been going on and then purge again. Look at your closet. And now that you have the new idea of what you're looking for, you start filling in your closet with the new look, perfectly fitting core pieces. Some of the stuff that you kept in the first purge might look a little sad the second time around that you go for the second purge. That's fine. You're going to start whittling out things that do not match your current ideal image and disposing of things that definitely make you look bad. Not because it makes you look fat, not because it shows your second stomach. Go to the gym for that part. You want to get rid of stuff that is torn, that it cannot be repaired at the tailor. You want to get rid of stuff that's stained, that cannot be fixed at the dry cleaners, and get rid of that stuff. You want to donate things that no longer meet your upscale expectations for yourself. The thought outfits you used to wear when you was kids, the thug outfits that you used to wear when you was kids, the stuff that you used to wear when you were immature, it's still good condition. You're just not wearing that stuff anymore. That's the stuff that you donate. Okay. You do not donate stuff that you would not be caught dead in. You do not donate stuff that makes you look bad as far as stains and rips. Okay. So be ruthless about the second time you go over this closet. And if it doesn't meet your new standards because it was in your keep pile last time because it was the best that you had before, but it's not necessarily as good as what you got now because you started upgrading yourself, that's fine. Your keep pile can become your donate pile. Your last keep pile from the last purge can become your donate pile. But once you've whittled out all of your trash pile and you've whittled out all of your tailor pile, the only thing you have left in your closet is I'm either going to keep it or I'm going to donate it. Now, with the respects of the donate pile, being fiscally responsible about things, understandable. Michael tells us all the time about estate sales. If it's a donatable item, it's also a sellable item. You can have garage sales and you can sell all of your old clothes and you can take the money from the clothes that you sold and you can use that to buy more clothes. So you don't necessarily have to give them away. You can sell them. And that can minimize the cost of upgrading your wardrobe. And if the stuff that you're throwing away has a larger value than you might have thought, you're selling it to the highest bidder, whatever they're willing to give you for it, or anything more than what you thought you would have asked for it. Um, sell it, sell it. So there's no stains, there's no rips on it. It's not all worn out and faded. It could be sold. It could be sold in a thrift store or Goodwill or Salvation Army. And if that's the case, you could sell it in your front yard. Now, on week 3, you're going to start building consistency. This is going to be days 15 through 21. This week is less about buying and more about doing. It's about building the habits and the muscle memory of well dressed men by rotating through your new core wardrobe. On day 15, you have office uniform A, wear the full business casual uniform. On day 11, you have blazer, white tee, chinos, brown shoes. On day 16, office uniform B, mix it up. Wear your light blues with your wool trousers. No blazer one time. Roll up your shirt sleeves properly with the cuffs to the elbow, right? That's a pro move. Instead of, because you're a little bit hot, that you're going to take off all of this stuff and you got your clothes all over the office, you simply just roll up your sleeve to the elbow, right above the elbow, and you want to have like an inch and a half to 2 inch cuff when you roll up your sleeve on both sides. And then you can loosen up the tie a little bit and open one button, and now you've got you a little bit of breathing room, right? Simply just taking off the blazer gives you a whole nother style. Simply rolling up your sleeves, and because you got a three-piece suit, instead of wearing a blazer, you can roll up your sleeves and you can wear a vest, lighter material for warmer temperatures, warmer scenarios, right? And it could be a vest that matches the blazer that you would have otherwise worn, right? Where you can wear the blazer outside from the car to the building, and you take off the blazer and you're wearing the vest in the building, still keeping the same look. And the vest doesn't have to be, the vest can be closed when you're wearing the blazer, but the vest can be open when you're not wearing the blazer. So now you don't have to walk to the office cold because it's hot inside. You can be warm inside and warm outside, and all it takes is for you to just change up your look a little bit. Pair this stuff with your brown loafers, still sharp, just a bit more relaxed. Then on day 17, social uniform A, tonight or one weekend night. Wear your dark jeans, your high quality white t shirt, your minimalist white sneakers. Grab these today if you haven't already done so. Clean, classic, and cool. That's what you're looking at. On day 18, social uniform B. Alter with another social option. Pair your navy polo shirt with your gray chinos and the brown loafers. This is a preppy, polished, and effortless smart look, right? Then day 19, layering day. Time to buy your knit sweaters if you haven't done so already. Day 10 is on the list. Test it out. Wear your sweater over your light blue shirt with your dark jeans and white sneakers. This is how layering adds depth and sophistication. On day 20, the high low mix. Today we're going to mix formal and casual. Wear your navy blazer, but put your white crew neck t shirt underneath instead of the dress shirt. Pair this with dark jeans and white sneakers. This is a modern, stylish look that just screams confidence. Day 21 is the Sunday reset. On this day, it's all about care. Learn to iron your shirts properly, polish your leather shoes, use wooden hangers for your blazers and your trousers. This is going to help maintain the shape of your shoulders and prevent creasing. Taking care of your clothes is a non negotiable habit that makes your investment last, but it is also going to make it easier for you to get ready, because if on laundry day you're taking the time out of your day to iron your clothes and crease the pants that need to be creased, and hang up the clothes that need to be hung up, you are now making sure that your clothes are ready to be worn the day you go to put them on. So instead of you having to in the morning iron everything and get it ready, it can be ironed and ready for you. Now, again, this is why I told you, if your tailor is at a dry cleaner, you can probably kill two birds with one stone by dropping your clothes off at the tailor or dropping your clothes off at the dry cleaner, having them tailor your outfit, clean your outfit up, crease it up, make sure that it's ready to go. And then you can go to the dry cleaner once a week and collect the clothes for next week and have them in your closet, dry cleaned, ready. All you got to do is just put them on. And usually, if you're going to be a regular customer at a dry cleaner, you've put this into your budget, you can typically bring them a month's worth of clothes. They tell you how much it costs. You come back and you pick up 5 or 7 outfits at a time and put them in your closet, or pick up 14 outfits at a time and put them in your closet. You should, if you're offsetting a lot of your exterior clothes for the dry cleaner, and then your t-shirts and underwear and socks is going to be in your washing machine at your house, you're likely going to have a slightly larger budget for the dry cleaner, but you're likely going to find yourself not washing as much stuff. And as we said last week, certain things like your jeans shouldn't be washed every time you wear it. It should only be washed when they're clearly stained, right? So ultimately, you might wear the clothes and then set some of them aside as long as they're not presenting odors. And then you're going to take those clothes and you're going to bring them to the dry cleaner, and the dry cleaner is going to clean them, and then they're going to bring it back to you. So you have clothes that's never been worn, clothes that have been worn, and clothes that need to go to the dry cleaners. That's 3 sets of clothes. Week 4 is going to be your reinforcement and polish days between the 22nd and the 30th day. So we're almost done. This is going to be the final weeks of setting that first 30 days of success. We add the last few pieces, practice more advanced combinations, and set you up for future days to come. Because next week we're going to be talking about more advanced tips. On day 22, you want to purchase the casual jacket. This is going to be your final jacket that you're going to need, the bomber jacket, the Harrington jacket, or the denim jacket. This piece completes your casual wardrobe and gives you a stylish alternative to the original blazer, right? On day 23, your ultimate casual look is going to be when you wear your new casual jacket over your navy t-shirt, paired with your camo chinos and white sneakers. This is a comfortable, stylish, and perfectly coordinated weekend look. On day 24, advanced layering. You wear your knit sweater over your white dress shirt, then layer your navy blazer on top of that. Pair it with your wool trousers. This is a sophisticated textural look for colored days, for the colder days as well. And this is going to show that you really know what you're doing. This is the kind of outfit where you might want to pick you up a date, or at least interview her to see if she's valuable enough to take on a date. But if you've already started doing what you're doing and she kind of likes your style and she can match with that, one of the first things that you notice on a first date is if y'all can meet without coordinating your outfits and your outfits honestly complement each other. When you go somewhere with somebody and y'all look like y'all are married, even though y'all just met, y'all complement each other. Not too many people do that, you know. So a lot of times people have to ask, are y'all together? But when you're in a situation where somebody just thought y'all are together, or at least that's what I assumed, in that perspective, y'all fit like a married couple. You're heading in the right path in that scenario. Day 25, we got like 5 more days left, the final purge. One last look at your old clothes. Anything you haven't touched or anything that you've missed in the last 25 days, let that go. Your closet should now feel spacious, organized, and filled only with the things that you love to wear and the things that you are going to start wearing frequently going forward in the future. On day 26, the 3 outfit test. This is a mental exercise. So from now on, before you buy any new pieces of clothes, you must be able to mentally create 3 distinct outfits for what you're about to buy using pieces you already own. This three outfit rule will stop you from buying every single thing on the show, all everything on the rack. So you're not, this is not a one trick pony outfit. You want to make sure that if this outfit matches three or four different outfits that you would like to wear, if you have 72 different opportunities to put this outfit on, that's when you go and buy that item. The item. So if you're going to pick up a new dress, ladies, there should be 72 different ways you can wear that dress. If you're going to pick up a blouse or you're going to pick up a skirt, there should be 72 different ways that you can wear that outfit. If not, if it's a one time occasion, I'm only buying it for today's event, and I plan on bringing it back after and trying to get my money back on it or getting some kind of store credit for it. Don't get it. If this is a situation where I'm only buying these shoes for this event or this week's activities and it's just going to stay in the closet and collect dust, don't buy it. Okay. There must be at least three outfits that you can put into it or put it into, and then 30 or 40 different ways that you can wear it. If it is not going to become part of your regular occurrence, because remember, you had 20 items that could give you 72 ways to live life. If you're looking at 30 outfits, 30 different outfits, if 20 items can give you 72 different uh, 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 combinations, where you're likely only having 3 days worth of clothes because you had three pairs of pants and four shirts. You only have 3 days worth of pants, right? If you're going to buy another 10 times more, that means that you should have 10 times more. You should have 720 different combinations off of 30 days worth of clothes. So no one item should be no one combination should be seen twice in the same month, right? That's when you know you're doing it right. No one combination should be seen twice in the same month. Because with 72 different combinations, you should not see the same combinations twice in 30 days. I mean, in 60 days. But if you can't remember what you wore 3 weeks ago, you should at least have enough different combinations where if your goal is to wear everything in your closet once a month, you should have covered multiple different combinations. Day 27, buy one accent piece. This is going to be optional. You don't have to do this, but it does give you a little bit more detail to your accessories. If you follow the plan, you've earned the right to add something personal to it. Give you a little bit of swagger to it. This could be olive or burgundy chinos, a shirt with a subtle pattern, or a pocket square. But you have to apply that three outfit test before you buy it. You're not just going to get this one pocket square that only goes with this one outfit where I can only wear it certain times out of the year when I only put this particular combination together. That's not what you want. You want something that's going to rock with most things. Like I told you earlier at the show, the white and blue pattern design that I have with this shirt and tie combination. I could wear three different blazers with this. Either this one, I could wear a light blue one, I could wear a white one, I could wear a completely black because this isn't a completely black blazer with it. I can put this tie with a white shirt. I could put this tie with a darker blue shirt. I could put this shirt with a white tie. I could put this shirt with a darker blue tie with a black tie. I just gave you 6 different ways just to mix the tie, the shirt, and the blazer before I even started talking about the pants. It fits the three outfit test, right? That's what you're paying attention to when you decide to buy something. Day 28, plan your grooming because that's going to be the other part of this. Because I mean, if your outfit looks good, but the rest of you look like shit, you're not going to be going anywhere. A great wardrobe is going to be a waste without proper grooming. Your style doesn't stop at the clothes. Schedule proper haircut. Got to get my hair braided down. Make sure that your facial hair is going to be neat. Your nails should be cleaned. No dirt underneath the nails. You don't want to have uneven fingernails. So, go to the salon and have them do your hair and your nails and stuff. Get yourself straightened out. Good grooming is going to be the frame of the masterpiece that you've just created. And I'm not gonna lie. Ladies got the right idea when you go and get a pedicure. There is nothing like having a person that doesn't speak your language rub your feet. It is an era of mental relief, but it also alleviates a lot of tension and stress. Being able to take time out of your day to pamper yourself a little bit actually allows yourself to feel well deserved by yourself from yourself, and being able to incorporate some of this into your budget allows you to give yourself some minute luxuries in life that caters to your position. And that can include going to a spa and having a back massage and everything like that to alleviate the aches and pains, which helps with structuralizing your posture. Because grabbing a good outfit and then slouching in is not going to give you a good look. You have to be able to maintain not only the outfit of success, not only the grooming of success, but the posture and mannerisms of success as well. On day 29, you want to plan the next 6 months in the same fashion. Your wardrobe is a living thing. You want to plan the next few purchases, budget it wisely. Maybe it's a second sweater, a different color though, a pair of uh, Chelsea boots for the fall. Ladies, y'all might want to grab you some Chanel or saving up for a full on suit. Always be thinking one season ahead, because another thing you could be doing is paying attention to certain outfits at certain clothing stores, which is why I tell you clothing stores are a plus over the thrift stores, Goodwills, and Salvation Armies, because what is what is there until it's sold at thrift stores, Goodwills, and Salvation Armies. But at clothing stores, they have a large collection of the same items, which means that if those items don't sell by a certain time, you could be watching that item, it could get put on sale. Once it goes on clearance, that item that might have been outside of your budget now is inside of your budget. And that's when you can start picking up name brand items for less, right? Day 30, this is going to be the final review. Look at your closet again. 20 strategic pieces that can create over 70 outfits. You have the system, you have a formula. You no longer have a closet full of clothes and nothing to wear. You have a curated collection that makes you look and feel your best every single day, even on your worst days. You've built your millionaire wardrobe. And building this wardrobe doesn't have to be expensive, but you do have to be a smart shopper. So, here's how to get these pieces without breaking the bank. You thought I was going to stop there. No, I got a little bit more. Tier one, thrift stores and discount stores. Best return on investment. Your first stop for high cost items like blazers and wool trousers should be thrift stores or uh, consignment shops. You can get them from estate sales if you want to, but you can often find high quality 100% wool blazers from great brands for under $20. The fit might not be perfect, but a $20 blazer plus a $40 tailoring gets you a perfectly fitted outfit instead of $300 for the item. High quality garments for $60 that might have to cost $400 before brand new, now $60. Also, hunt through discount stores like Marshalls, TJ Maxx, Macy's. Tier two, affordable basic stores. These are going to be the foundations for your core basic outfits like the t-shirts, chinos, and Oxford shirts. Places like Uquillo, Gap, Old Navy are the best friends that you can find here. Uniqlo, a Japanese brand, is especially phenomenal for its focus on high quality minimalist and innovative basics at low prices. Their Supima cotton t-shirts and Oxford shirts are legendary for a reason, offering durability and softness that outperforms their price tag. Tier three, elevated affordable brands for key pieces. When you found yourself ready to invest a little bit more in a key piece, look in brands like J. Crew, Banana Republic, Spire and Mickey. Or Charles Tyrwhitt. Spider and Mickey is a Canadian brand known for providing excellent value with classic cuts and quality construction that many compare favorably to more expensive competitors. Charles Tyrant is a British retailer famous for its dress shirts, offering a huge range of fits and multi buy deals that significantly increases their value. The secret here is never pay full price. Sign up for their email and wait for a 30 to 40% off sale. They happen all the time. This is how you get a $100 sweater for $60. So there you have it. The complete 30-day plan to transform your style and build a wardrobe that radiates success. We started by understanding the three pillars that fit everything. The natural palette is the key to versatility, and that timeless piece always beat fleeting trends. We then laid out the exact 20-piece checklist to start you off, the strategic foundation that works in perfect harmony. Most importantly, we walk through a daily actionable plan from the first purge to the game changing power of a good tailor. We didn't just talk theory, we built a system that proves that you don't need a huge budget to look like $1 million. You need a formula, you need discipline, and the focus to invest in fewer, higher quality things, better things than the more expensive, lower quality things that you bought specifically because of its brand. The confidence that comes from knowing everything in your closet fits you perfectly and goes together effortlessly is a superpower, especially for the ladies. Ladies, you never have to be concerned. Do I look good in this outfit? I don't feel comfortable in this outfit. That uncomfortable awkwardness radiates in social interactions. And your lack of confidence in how you look compromises how other people feel around you because they're going to believe that your lack of confidence in your look is actually your uncomfortableness with their presence, which could detour positive connections, whether it is business connections or personal connections. So, making sure that you are proud of the way you look, you are satisfied with what you have on, is one of the most important ways to maintain a level of confidence. And, fellas, when you're trying to make the first move, knowing that you look sharp gives you more confidence than hoping that you look good. It changes how you carry yourself, how you talk to people, how you attack your day, and how people want to address you. Your style is the first thing people notice. When a man goes across the room to go and talk to a woman, it's not because she's smart, it's because of how she looks. So if you prioritize carrying sophistication in your look, not sexual attraction in your look, people will come over because they thought you might be smart, not because they thought they could get into your pants. And fellas, when you carry yourselves with a higher level of sophistication, the individuals are going to look at you like you must have something going on, not that you're a creeper. Okay. Your outfit will now tell your story of intention, sophistication, and a quiet level of confidence. You have the complete blueprint over the last 3 hours. The challenge is completely laid out for you. And now it is your turn to put it into action. If you commit to this 30-day plan, I want to hear about it after you're done with it. Drop it in the comments below. Let me know you're starting the challenge. And if you want to keep leveling up your style, your confidence, and your life, make sure that you subscribe to the channel and check out some of the upcoming videos that we have, because in the next couple of Sundays, we're going to be talking about 7 style mistakes that make your look cheap, so that you know exactly what to avoid when you're trying to level yourself up. Now, before we walk out of here, we're going to say, ladies, as long as the situation doesn't make sense, I'm going to keep asking you, ladies, to make it make sense. So, ladies, please make it make sense. Fellas, I give you all this information to help you build yourselves up to be higher value men. Because when you find the things in your life that you can control and you make the changes over the things you don't like, you can improve yourself and have a better life than navigate around the things that you cannot control. Ladies, while this is a male driven podcast from the male's perspective, you too can take the information that I'm providing and utilize it to make yourselves higher value women. By paying attention to a show that is telling men how to be better and do better so that you can find a better man, you can also find out what those better men are looking for. Everybody has a standard and everybody has an expectation, and you must meet the expectations of the person you're expecting to have. So, you also need to figure out what you're going to be doing with your 20-year plan. Where do you want to be at in 20 years? Where do you want your wardrobe to be at in 20 years? What is that going to cost? What is that going to take? What kind of effort needs to be performed? Reverse engineer that to the first handful of steps that need to be performed, and step by step, today, this weekend, this week, you want to proactively start putting forth the necessary effort to changing the things in your life to get you to where you want to be at. Start with the free things that take little time. Work yourself into the free things that take a lot of time. Then transition into the things that cost money that takes a little bit of money, and work your way up to the things that cost a lot of money. But proactively work yourself towards your 20-year plan. And if along the ways, if you keep your eyes and ears open, you're now not reading people based off of how much money they spent on you on a first night. You're going to be reading people based off of how well they mesh with your agenda, your objectives. Your goals should be a priority. And if your goals can be incorporated into someone else's goals, where y'all can both achieve your goals together, y'all can work together to achieve those goals just that much faster. I've told you on the show plenty of times how two people can come together with $45,000 apiece income and make themselves multimillionaires inside of 20 years. I've told y'all how y'all can come together with $55,000 per person income and make yourselves $1 million in less than 10 years. There are ways that you guys can reach your goals faster together than what you can individually, but you're paying attention to the person's character, their personality, and their ability to cooperate with your objectives. Your personality, your character, and your ability to cooperate with their objectives. That is how you're going to find the right person, not whether she puts out or whether he pays. Think about this. Start going into the dating field looking for the right thing. You're going to find it. And everything that's not what you're looking for, you're going to walk away from it. You're not even going to waste your time. You're not even going to get into the third date. Half the time, you won't even get into the first one, because if they're not what you're looking for before the first date, why take them out? Why go out with them? Doesn't matter if they're paying. Why waste your time on a date with a person you're not interested in? The interest must happen before y'all exchange contact information. So you got to know what you're looking for. And if you don't, you're wasting your time more than you're wasting their time. And as I've talked about from a financial perspective, opportunity cost, the money that you're wasting, the time and effort that you're wasting. And you can honestly say, even for you ladies, it's a waste of money, even if he's paying, because your makeup isn't free. The stuff that you got to spend on styling your hair isn't free. That you're wasting time and money and effort going on a date with a person you're not interested in. So make sure that you prioritize goals and ambition over financial expenses. Make sure, fellas, that you prioritize cooperation and obedience over whether or not she puts out, because that's how you're going to find what you're looking for. Now, on my way out, I want to tell you guys, make sure that y'all like and subscribe if you haven't done so. I want to say thank you guys for coming to This and That. I'm your host, Xander, where we talk about this, that, and everything in between. And I will see you guys tomorrow night.
Higher ground. Used to chase validation, now I validate myself. Building inner strength, putting doubt upon the shelf. No more unnecessary drama, no more wasted time. Climbing higher, constantly making my own climb. Standing on higher ground where excellence is found. My potential knows no bounds, raising the bar, breaking ground. My network is my net worth. Choose your company wise. Surround yourself with eagles, not with sheep in disguise. Every interaction is a reflection of my brand. Quality over quantity, that's my personal command. I'm not mounted on higher ground where excellence is found. My potential knows no bounds, raising the bar, breaking ground. I'm not just living, I'm manifesting my vision, cutting through limitations with surgical precision. My expectations are my compass, my respect is my shield to mediocrity and chaos. I will never I'm not just living, I'm manifesting my vision, cutting through limitations with surgical precision. My expectations are my compass, my respect is my shield to mediocrity and chaos. I will never yield.